Come join our team.
Apply at cliffslocalmarket.com/careers.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is your community foundation. Together, we've invested $125 million in the community, thanks to people, families, and businesses that want to give back and build a brighter future. And you don't have to have big bucks to make a big difference. Join us as we invest in the future of our community. Learn more about your community foundation at foundationhoc.org.
If you're 19 or older with certain underlying medical conditions such as asthma or diabetes, you can get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're 65 or older, it is also recommended you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. No matter the season, talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protect yourself. A message from the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
Furnished by the American Lung Association.
Adirondack Home Furniture is fully stocked from wall to wall with top quality, durable, American-made pieces for any room. With over 40 bedroom and dining room pieces on display and quality sofas starting at $8.99, you're sure to find the pieces to transform your home. And don't forget, Adirondack Home Furniture has more than just rustic pieces. They carry a wide variety of modern, farmhouse, and traditional styles. If you're looking to transform your home or complete a room with a few pieces, now is the time to buy. Because at Adirondack Home Furniture, you'll save the amount of the sales tax. Save the amount of the sales tax on any purchase for your living room, bedroom, office, and occasional furniture. All solid wood and American made, including in-stock items, clearance items, and even special orders. Adirondack Home Furniture has the best value and top quality furniture for your home. Visit them at the former Riverside Mall, Horatio Street, Utica, or browse the inventory online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim. A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
The IBEW Local 43 and the National Electrical Contractors Association have been a part of Central New York for over 100 years. The IBEW state-of-the-art training facility offers classroom instruction as well as everyday on-the-job construction training. From the Carrier Dome to our local hospitals, malls, schools, and city buildings, Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 will continue to help light, power, and grow our community.
IBEW Nika.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today.
It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Well, good morning. It's
chilly. What a change in the weather. Now we're seeing that we're going to be getting into an El Nino. I think that's it. We'll talk to Craig Flint, meteorologist, coming up in a few minutes. Which means, they say, if you like snow, this winter is going to deliver. It's not going to be as cold, but we may be looking at a lot of snow this year. So we'll get into that a little bit. We can talk about football over the weekend. Wow, the Buffalo Bills. Here's the only problem with, and I know there are a lot of complaints. One player from the Bills said, we come all the way over here to London to play on effing cement. And the Bills had massive injuries. The only problem is both teams end up playing on that playing surface, right?
Yeah, and Jacksonville's comfortable on it, I guess.
They seem to be okay with it. And I realize they played there, not specifically there, but played in London last week. But you just knew the Bills had nothing going at all on offense. And there was only so long that defense was going to be able to hold back Jacksonville.
Yeah, a bit of a struggle, a little setback, but I mean the offense has been humming along. Again, this happens. I don't know. It's a travel game and all that stuff. And as a matter of fact, I think it was a Sunday night game last night. They were talking to somebody at halftime who basically said we came in knowing we had an advantage because we didn't have jet lag. We've been here for 2 weeks and we were comfortable.
Yeah. So. How about at one point, is Davey in there? I can't see if he's in there.
Why? It's odd today. I can't see in there either.
So at one of the plays that Josh Allen was calling was James LeBron, I believe, is how he called it, LeBron James. That got more play from LeBron James. He was very honored that the Bills named a play after him.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And it was he was tweeting all over the place about it, and it was a play. I think it was a scoring play for the Bills. Going to be their. I forget how it all went down yesterday, but
they did quite a bit of obviously just to get
offense
ready
in the second half, but
just to get ready for the game, they did a bit of James LeBron or however they phrased that because they did a lot of traveling. LeBron loves to travel. He's the king of the four-step.
LeBron James tweeted, "I wonder what that LeBron James audible Josh Allen yelled out meant. LOL."
It means travel.
It means travel. And apparently, Davey, I believe the Bills ended up getting there late. They didn't get there until like Friday night. And there is such a thing as jet lag. Take it for what it is. There is. But at the same time, Jacksonville had jet lag last week, and they're on a 2-game winning streak in London. A 3-game winning streak in London, right?
Jacksonville stayed there from last Sunday.
I know, that's what I just said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm saying they didn't have jet lag last week, Davey. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can complain about jet lag, but somehow they managed to get through it last week. Okay.
Are you watching any playoff?
He's very upset. He's very upset, and I don't blame him.
So
it's terrible.
Did you watch any playoff baseball?
I have not. No.
Yeah, it's it's not whatever. But you know what I did, and I think I talked about this, was I canceled my cable. I started the MLB.TV. They had like a partial season subscription. It was $25 a month, basically every baseball game except for the Mets or Yankees. Obviously, the last month and a half of the season, there wasn't a whole lot to watch there anyway. Well, I was shocked.
So you're okay because it's all out-of-market stuff now, right? And it's playoff stuff anyway.
No.
Really?
Because I can't watch the games. You need to have a pay cable provider.
This is the problem with a lot of these, even with ESPN, when you buy into ESPN. If you don't have a provider, now that provider could be Fubo TV. You could subscribe to a streaming service. It could be YouTube TV. It could be Spectrum. But you have to have a streaming service. That's the big change here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's frustrating to me because basically the final month that I paid for my MLB.TV is completely worthless. The only games I'll be able to watch are on free TV, which will be Fox. But all the games on FS1, TBS, and who else is carrying? ESPN maybe? I get none of those. I was so frustrated when I learned that.
I don't know this, and there is a free trial that you can get into, but Fubo TV is supposed to be really good for sports.
Yeah, okay.
And that serves as a provider, so you don't need Spectrum. But it is what it is. Wayne says, I'm a Cowboys fan and do not believe they're all that great. Please get Joe on. I'm curious to hear what he says. Joe Load, I think he's talking about. Joe's a Cowboys fan.
Look, I obviously they got destroyed last night, but I mean, I think Dallas is better than that. They're probably the second or third best team in that NFC.
Mike says, well, Jacksonville's from Florida, so they must be used to playing on beaches, which is a very hard surface. I think he's being sarcastic there. Yeah, I just don't think you can blame the surface. You could blame jet lag, I guess. They certainly looked jet lagged. They didn't seem to have any spark to their offense whatsoever. That defense was amazing and kept them in the game. It should never have been as close as it was. But then it just, you needed them to come out in the second half and actually score, Davey. And while they did eventually, it wasn't enough.
Right. When I saw him go for the 2-point and make it 8-0, I said, here we go.
Yeah.
This is going to be kind of long morning.
Yeah, not good at all. Now, we can talk about what is going on. Boy, are we on the verge of of World War III right now? Because now you have Hamas with a surprise attack and now a war declared in Israel. We're learning now that Hamas was trained and prepared and readied by Iran. So this is how this all happens. Yeah. This is the fear that this escalates into something much bigger and much broader. And meanwhile, you still have the war in Ukraine going on. So very scary time. We'll speak with Brandon Williams, Congressman Brandon Williams, on all of this. Of course, he's former military, which it'll be interesting to get his take on the whole thing. But this is a very tense time. Sheriff Rob Machel is on. He has numbers from the first week of school bus cameras, and I think it might shock you.
I'm shocked. I don't have the exact number, but to even be in this neighborhood, no pun intended, is shocking.
There's a UAW strike. Gas prices are going to end up going up now because of what happened in Israel. Ryan Schmelz will be on later this morning to talk about the battle for the House Speaker position. That's craziness. So we have craziness around the world, certainly craziness within our own government right now. Wow, what is going on?
Yeah, it's interesting when you talk about the situation with Hamas in Israel as well. I was actually just watching something, and they said, you know what? The odds are World War III will be a digital war, or it'll be over computers and hacking and all this stuff. It might not be like a physical war; it'd be like a Cold War.
Well, there's a lot of war going on right now. And I imagine something like that could happen. But man, there is a lot of traditional war happening around the world right now. We mentioned that in Brandon Williams. It'll be very interesting to talk to Congressman Brandon Williams, a little later on here this morning. Today is Columbus Day, which means no mail, no banks, or is it Indigenous Peoples Day? I guess depends on what you call it.
For some reason, I didn't see that this was coming. Yeah, today is Columbus Day, huh?
Today is no mail, no bank, no school, no government offices. Today is Columbus Day.
No Sunday newspaper.
No Sunday newspaper. Today would be a great example. Now, Davey, you want to add something to that?
About what?
I don't know. You look like you're up to the microphone.
The bank that I go to locally has a sign says that they were going to be closed today for the
Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah. Well, they're right then. Yeah, they got it right. So yesterday, we do get the Sunday OD. And I'm nearing the end of that subscription because
22nd when your last day is.
I believe it is is that a Sunday?
Yeah.
So we got from our carrier, we received a letter, and it is a long letter. Are you looking at this here?
Oh,
this
my
came
goodness.
This came with the paper. 2
That's
pages.
from your carrier?
Yeah, 2 pages. and a whole other page. And he sent us a picture of himself with his dad, who I believe that's an in loving memory picture. Our carrier is Paul Gardner. He's from Utica, and he gave a great deal of opinion and a thank you to all the people who have, treated him so well as he has delivered their newspaper, in some cases for many, many years.
2.5 pages, by the way, single-spaced.
Single-spaced.
It'd be like 6 pages if he double-spaced it.
And it's quality paper. This is very thick paper. I would say the paper that we use around here, it's probably would take 2 pages to equal the thickness of this paper. It's very almost hard stock.
Wow.
But he's talking about the hundreds of jobs that Gannett has cut since their merger in 2019. Sunday, October 22nd, which is
2 weeks from yesterday.
2 weeks from yesterday. So we'll have 2 more weeks of delivery of the Sunday paper, and then that's it. It'll come via the newspaper.
Mail.
So I'm sorry, via the mail. Sorry.
No.
Which means it'll be Monday, maybe. But on a day like today, where there's Columbus Day next year, you won't get your paper until Tuesday. And you won't get a Monday paper. So you'll get Monday and Sunday on Tuesday when there's a holiday.
Is the majority of that letter taking aim at Gannett?
Yeah, it talks about how they're trying to cut $300 million a year.
I mean, it's true.
They say that I
haven't even read it, and I'm saying it's true.
In the next 10 years, the Gannett CEO wants all of its papers to be fully digitized in 10 years. So there won't be a paper copy. He talks about how he worked during COVID, the OD's e-edition, and he said, with this news, I will soon bid you all a fond farewell after completing north of 1 million deliveries.
Wow.
He has. I will certainly miss the familiar morning routine of visiting your neighborhoods and homes over many, many years, especially the holidays. Again, some of you more recently since July. Yeah, I think he's a new carrier for us. We haven't subscribed for that long. They kept harassing me, and finally I'm like, okay, fine. I'll do it.
They kept harassing you to have it delivered, and then they cancel it.
Now they cancel it. It's just terrible. I can't believe it. But again, the guy's name is Paul Gardner of Utica, and he's basically being laid off. Davey, you know what that's like?
What, being laid off?
Yeah. Or do you still deliver? You still deliver.
Somebody's like, wait, do I have a meeting today?
You deliver to the vendors.
Yes.
Like
I
to
don't
the stores.
I
you don't do home
OD.
delivery.
I don't.
Okay.
I used to do OD.
He's not. He's the sentinel. Right?
Right.
All good there? Seems to be pretty hot. They seem to be advancing, expanding while the OD is contracting.
Look, I have to tell you, I'm not saying I'm an idiot and I don't understand. Right, when you own several newspapers, just the idea of how many physical people is that? To have if newspapers in multiple markets, multiple people doing deliveries. So from their end, they say when we slash this, we cut X amount of dollars.
We're saving all this money.
But it gets to a point. It really gets to a point where you have to wonder your product. Who's interested in your product anymore?
It is normally if you were trying to expand subscriptions and readership, normally you would expand your services.
Right, exactly.
And I do have to say that if the paper was a little better at delivering news, timely news, I think you'd have people more excited about the fact that they can get it digitally.
Right, so coupled with the cuts in the newsrooms across the country.
That's the problem. You have so many cuts in the newsroom that the news that you get is like 3 or 4 days old by the time you get it. That is a bigger problem, I think, than even the delivery. But anyway, a message this morning out to delivery veteran Paul Gardner, whose tenure will come to a close in 2 weeks. Wow. Mike is in Schuyler. Good morning, Michael. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to share some news with you because I heard it from you when this happened. Remember the Bruce Springsteen concert? When they got postponed?
Yeah, it's been rescheduled,
I woke up this morning. I woke up this morning, I'll pull up the app. There's a date on there, April 18th.
Yeah, I saw that.
April 18th, he's rescheduled the JMA, and I went on the website to make sure too.
Well, that's that's a pretty good thing, considering I was a little bit nervous that maybe this wouldn't get rescheduled. I mean, he is no spring chicken.
How often you see
the
that?
boss.
And, so I was happy to see that. The Gabriel concert, I don't know if I told you that was a great concert.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah, Peter Gabriel.
He played 22 songs.
Wow.
A little break in between, but he actually played big time. That was the first time I've seen him do that.
That's cool. Where did you see that show? Was that
songs. My kids like the new songs too? There's a lot of good.
Was that in Albany? You saw that show?
That was at the Key Bank.
Okay,
it was at the Key Bank Center.
Is that the old Knickerbocker?
Yeah.
I hate to be old.
Buffalo. Old Pepsi Center.
Isn't it in Albany?
Buffalo.
Or no?
Buffalo? Okay.
Buffalo.
You were in Buffalo where you saw Peter Gabriel.
I was in Buffalo, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, good stuff. Yep. And anything else before I got our meteorologist standing by here?
Oh, no, just wanted to share that with you because you're the one who told me when it postponed. I was like, hey, I just found out.
So what's the date? It's April
18th.
In Syracuse, and April 15th in Albany.
On Thursday, which I'm glad, too, because I DJ. And I was worried it was going to be on a weekend.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's big money on the weekends. So, all right, Michael, thank you, man. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Take care.
Meteorologist Craig Flint on the line right now. Craig, good morning.
Good morning, Keeler, Manaski. Good morning, everyone. Hey, just real quick. I just heard you mention the Knickerbocker Arena.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
There's a throwback.
I remember that as a kid back in Albany. So, yeah, it's that brought back some memories.
I think I've seen several shows there, but I think one of my favorites was U2 at the Knickerbocker. Yeah. And now we sell out the it's what is it now? Is it the what is it?
It was Pepsi Center for a long time.
It's the MVP
Arena. Yeah.
MVP Arena.
Is that what it is now? I was going to say, I don't even know, because I remember it was Knickerbocker, and then it was the Pepsi for a long time.
Yeah. That was a newspaper name, wasn't it?
Times Union Center.
Times Union Center,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, Times Union Center was in there as well. Yeah, but I remember I think if you were to ask me, it would just be I'm such a creature of habit to be like, oh, yeah, he's playing at the Pepsi Arena. And then people would look at me like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, where's that?
It's the Pepsi Arena.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, think about what people think when I say it's the Knickerbocker. I mean, they think I'm nuts.
I still hear people occasionally mention it, the Knickerbocker, and I remember it as a kid. So yeah.
As a kid, we would go to the egg, and now it's the chicken. Apparently, it developed into. Yeah.
So, the funny thing is when you guys
that was weak, and I apologize.
When you guys talk about calling it by its old name, of course, to me, not to me, to everybody, that's the benefit to the sponsor, right? You're like, I want to name this arena because every time someone goes to see a concert, they will forever think of the blank blank arena, which is my business name on there. But when you change it every 3 years, everybody just gets, you think it's a different venue.
And I also find it is very difficult to remember not to use Carrier when you're talking about the Dome.
Exactly. That's another example.
Yeah.
They get free advertising almost out of it because at this point, because not everyone, a lot of people still call it the Carrier Dome.
Okay, so let's switch to, what a change in the weather. Although for moments yesterday I was trying to do some stuff outdoors, it would get kind of, 60 and the sun was shining, it was breezy and windy, and then all of a sudden it would rain, and then but that's kind of what we dealt with. Boy, colder temperatures. It looks like 50s all week long.
Yeah, that's the pattern we're in now. We've definitely turned the corner, and it's a little bit more like it should be as we go into mid and late October. This is what I like to call a quote-unquote lake effect pattern.
Okay.
Because we've got cold air upstairs. The lake is still very warm, and it just can't help itself. It just can't this time of the year. It's going to be one of those stretches here where, you know, it will start out nice and crisp and sunny in the morning, and then by late morning, midday, the clouds grow and an occasional sprinkles, so you get spit at a little bit in the afternoon, and then it passes by, and then the sun comes back out. So it's a very mixed message as we go through the next few days. I don't think there's one completely dry day in the forecast. Maybe Wednesday, Thursday, maybe.
Well,
So
we
we'll see.
you know, after last week, which was just unheard of, temperatures in the. I mean, I think we may have reached 87 at our home on at one. Oh, maybe it was in the sun. I don't know, but it was warm. I couldn't believe how warm it was on Wednesday. But here we are, back to more normal temperatures, and it does look like this is the pattern we're going to be dealing with.
Yeah, at least for a little while longer. You know, I believe, speaking of warmth, the last record high temperature in the 90s, don't quote me on this, but I'll have to go back and double check, but I think the last record high temperatures in the 90s for the year were last week. So it could go to show you that October can still get warm.
Yeah.
But it can also get very cold too. You know, so we'll see what the end of the month brings. And you know, I've been kind of slowly putting together my little outlook for the winter here. And you know, my sneak peek for you is I think this is going to be the pattern that we're in. So I think it's going to be a very variable winter. I think we're going to kind of go up and down here as we go into the winter. And you know, if you're a snow lover, we'll see, but you might get skunked this year.
Again?
Okay, so that's interesting because the national outlooks is calling for our area to be an active El Nino. I think I have that right, and which would mean somewhat warmer temperatures but more snow. However, are we going to be on that line where we get more rain than snow?
I think who's to say for sure? All we're talking about here is trends, so this is by no way a forecast at all, but I think it's going to be a winter that's classified by, I'm sure there's going to be one or two big, storms, or there just has to be, So I'm sure we'll get one or two of those, but I think it could be that one of those types of winter, at least the way I think it's going to play out, is, you get crushed by a big snowstorm, and then 4 or 5 days later, it's 60 or 70 degrees.
Okay.
Wow. So there'll probably be a couple of those random days going through the winter months here. So we'll see how that plays out.
Listen, I take it that's kind of like Denver weather. Although they get much nicer weather for a longer period, but they'll get snow there, and then the next day it's like 75 degrees.
Yeah,
we're not probably going to enjoy that.
And remember, I define winter because it's I call it nerd winter, meteorological winter, December, January, February.
Okay.
Those are the coldest months. So
Fair
those
enough.
are the 3 months that I'm talking about. So we know living around here that it can spill well into March and April.
And October. I mean, we've certainly seen it start in October. But hopefully,
and I wouldn't be surprised if, I thought it might have been cold enough even this past weekend.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised by Halloween if some areas already have had their first snow, in the higher elevations. So we'll see.
All right, good stuff. Craig Flint, we appreciate it. I mean, I don't necessarily love where the weather has gone, but we got to enjoy some really awesome weather last week. That was just
You were spoiled rotten,
a
Keeler.
treat. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, good to have you back, Craig Flint. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Meteorologist Craig Flint with Eyewitness News. All right, I want to tell you a couple things here. Jimmy Fallon is about a month away this week. It'll be a month away this week. Tickets available for the Laughs and Liberty Tour with Jimmy Fallon and Kennedy coming to the Stanley Theater. Fox News Channel's Naughty Stepchildren have teamed up for one very special night on Veterans Day. Great seats still available. by calling Ticketmaster, going on to Ticketmaster.com. You can also call the box office at the Stanley for details. And let's say through River Hills Properties, you wanted to do the Heroes tickets. Buy a pair of tickets for a veteran. They would enjoy it on Veterans Day. All you have to do is call the box office at the Stanley Theater and tell them you're interested in Heroes tickets. Buy a pair of tickets or more for a veteran. They'll be given to veterans in need. And all you have to do is call the Stanley Theater box office at 315-724-4000, sponsored by WIBX and Keeler in the Morning. Also, Steve Ponte Mazda, they make it easy for you for the right used vehicle at the right price. Thanks to Mazda's winning so many awards, they're seeing record sales volumes and taking all kinds of vehicles in on trade. That means a great benefit for you. They want to offer you one location, all makes and models. And Ricky Z says they have unbelievably beautiful Mazdas with low mileage, Hondas, Subarus, Jeeps, GMC Dodge, Hyundais, and more. And if you need a lower price or payment, tell Rick, let's make your deal, where it's easy to do business. One location, all makes and models, Steve Ponte Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Quick break, we'll come right back. It's 647 at WIBX.
Stop into Mattress Express in Oneida in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theater. Simply complete a comfort test and get a $25 prepaid Visa card. Names like the Number Bed, Purple, Puffy, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and more. Hurry, this is a limited time offer.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, this is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance with exciting news. We are expanding with a couple of new offices in our area. One new location is North Country Estates Insurance in Lowville. They are another independent insurance agency that takes pride in making customers happy and fits our culture at Gates Cole perfectly. Here is William Schaub from the newest Gates Cole agency, North Country Estates Insurance in Lowville.
Working with us as an independent agent with this many companies, we will often call our clients and say, we're going to reduce your premium if you like. We have the companies that do well in New York and specifically this area. The coverages that we provide are commercial and personal insurance. That's the home, the auto, ATV, motorcycle. There's nothing more fun than taking care of a customer and being able to tell them that we're able to save them some money.
Proudly representing Finger Lakes Fire and Casualty Company of Trumansburg, New York. Gates Cole Insurance. We'll take care of you.
Rome Mayor Jackie Izzo.
As a business person, I saw Rome stalling, ran on a platform of a new beginning where we needed to concentrate on economic development, housing, jobs. And I think we've delivered on all of those. But not only that, we've done so much more. We've taken care of our infrastructure. We have increased job opportunities throughout the community. We've brought in over $70 million in grant money. Private sector investment is up near $350 million, probably more than at any time, even when Griffiths was built. And so the new beginning really doesn't have an end. That's why we need to continue this great work into the next 4 years. This has been the best experience of my life and the most humbling experience to work for the taxpayers of the City of Rome. And I hope that you will give me that opportunity to continue our work this November with your vote.
On Election Day, vote to re-elect Mayor Jackie Izzo. Let's keep Rome moving forward. Paid for by friends of Jackie Izzo.
Have you heard? AmeriQ members save more, earn more, and have more ways to stay connected than ever before. Because real connections matter. Online, in person, and everywhere in between. Save more with a high-interest deposit account. Earn more with an AmeriConnect Visa credit card with rewards. And with easy account access through our virtual financial center. You can stay connected with AmeriQ wherever your life takes you. AmeriQ and you. Let's connect. Visit AmeriQ.org/join to get started.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, it's 6:51 and Monday morning. Cool and damp start as Craig Flint says. We probably will be dry today, but there's rain in the forecast almost every single day. You know, we're talking about the Israeli missile strikes and from Gaza over the weekend. The big news this morning in the Wall Street Journal, breaking news that Iran likely helped train the insurgents here, and this is not good. This is how world wars begin. It just begins to spread and spread until we'll speak with Brandon Williams on that coming up later on next hour. Israel has officially declared war against Hamas. On Saturday, a reporter was visibly shaken when a missile blew up part of a Gaza tower in the background of her live TV report. Here's the moment Al Jazeera went to the reporter. She appears to be in another high building when the whole thing happens. But imagine what was going on in her head. Listen to this.
What can you report at this stage? All right. Yumna, please take cover. If you are in a position to do so safely, you can explain to us what we're happening. If you are not in a position to do so safely, then please get to safety.
No, it's okay. This is a missile attack on Palestine Tower, right in the middle of Gaza City.
Yumna, take a moment to breathe. Take a moment, you and your team, take a moment to breathe, okay? We are hours into this war between Gaza and Israel, and we have just witnessed live what an Israeli air raid looks like.
She's wearing a protective vest and helmet and moved out of the shot when it happened, and then they zoomed in on the blasted building. But that's what these people are reporting on right now. Pretty darn scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big news.
I would not want to be anywhere near there.
Big news over the weekend in the NFL. Taylor Swift did not attend the Chiefs game.
Oh, my goodness. And Kelsey almost got injured.
Let me repeat. She did not attend the Chiefs game, and Travis Kelce almost injured.
Yeah, he twisted his ankle.
Yeah.
He left for a while.
Boy.
But he did come back later in the game. In fact, I think he scored a touchdown as well late in the game, fourth quarter. But, yeah, he twisted his ankle, and the reports came out, Kelsey leaves the game, possible injury. There was some concern, and I think he's going to be a little tender for a while. She could maybe write a song about him called A Little Tender.
John Oliver ran a montage of news anchors around the country explaining their insane conspiracy theories that have to do with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's new relationship. So there are a lot of conspiracies out there. Here's just a little bit of an example.
Okay, the big question is, are Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce dating?
It just makes you think, is there something else going on?
Is anything really a coincidence these days? Is there anything accidental? There's a conspiracy involved here.
This is all a cover-up to conceal Taylor's true boyfriend, who she wants to keep private.
We're getting ready for Taylor Swift's 1989 re-release. The theme for this album is the color red. Travis Kelce plays for the Chiefs. They are a big red team. He was also born in 1989. This is just a promotional tool, Travis.
It rose all the way to the White House, though. The White House press secretary was even asked about the potential romance.
Does President Biden think it's real?
In the vernacular of the National Security Council, I can neither confirm or deny those reports.
This is stupid.
It's so stupid.
It's just so ridiculous.
And the fact that question was asked at the White House with everything that's going on in the world?
Correct. What a waste. So The Rock posted a new video explaining how he understands why some were upset when he and Oprah launched a fundraiser for the people devastated by the Hawaiian wildfires. What's the controversy here? So I don't understand it.
The controversy is that apparently The Rock and Oprah own a lot of property in Maui. Now, again, this is conspiracy stuff.
They would be benefiting from it.
Yes, and allegedly, first of all, this is what you'll find online. I do not know how much of this, any of this is true, but this is where all the controversy comes from. Allegedly, of all the acres and acres and acres they own, not 1 acre of their land was charred at all. Okay. The other thing is all these people who are now in a tough spot. I would imagine at some point insurance kicks in and takes care of them as far as reimbursing them for the value of their home. But what's circulating is that Oprah, through other people, is very quietly and underhandedly purchasing this land now from these people who have nothing at a low price. It's this whole conspiracy. And then the other thing that they're saying is that she's a billionaire. How dare she hold a fundraiser where she asks other people to give? How much are you giving?
Yeah, my guess is she's probably giving a lot. Same thing with The Rock. And they made it clear in their original video that people were asking them, where can we send money? So they worked with others on the island to have a guaranteed place where funds could actually go to the victims. And, just like flooding that we deal with here on a much lesser scale. But, sometimes the government, sometimes the insurance companies come through. Sometimes it takes years to get it done. So if you can help people out, I think there's a benefit to that. They worked with others on the island to have a guaranteed place where money would be funneled right to the victims. The Rock, having to explain, shows how negative, uninformed people stall efforts to do good things for others. That is, I'm reading commentary from someone here, and I agree with that. I think it's just ridiculous. There is something wrong with people right now. Humanity is in a really tough place.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything. Here is the Rock explaining what he had to explain.
When we first launched the fund, there was some backlash. And here's what I have to say about that. There's a lot of people out there who's living paycheck to paycheck. And I get it, and I know what that's like. I've lived paycheck to paycheck. And the last thing you want to hear when you are living paycheck to paycheck is someone asking you for money, especially when the person asking you for money already has a lot of money. So I get it. I understand. I'd never launched a fund before, and lesson learned.
Yeah.
Lesson learned, you can't deal with people. People can't be dealt with.
Yeah. Unfortunately, look, anybody who's trying to organize a benefit for the victims in Maui and everything that they've been through, and the money is legitimately going to them, I mean, how could you not support that? But again, we live in this Twitter world where everyone gets to have a say. And even when you do something like that, you're going to have a couple people who go, look.
Well, here's the problem. Politics is a big part of this. So if you're and there are left wingers and right wingers. So if you're a right winger, no matter what Oprah does, she's liberal. So you anything she does is bad, and there's an underlying scam going on. If you're liberal, then think of what a conservative might do. That conservative must be doing something evil. That's where we are today. It's these fringes that are driving the conversation, and it's pretty depressing. I think I got a break. We have news coming up straight ahead. It's Monday morning, WIBX Utica Rome. It is 7:00.
The Hamas attacks just don't stop. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Just like an hour ago, I had to run into the safe room. The alarms went off, missiles were launched. I got word then one of the missiles landed in Jerusalem in an Arab village. I called up my friend who lives in the Arab village. He's okay, but other people got hurt.
Robbie Berman's a tour guide in Tel Aviv on a third day of war started by Palestinian militants. Fox's Trey Yingst is in Israel.
We were just in the city of Ashdod that sits 2 towns up from the Gaza border. And Hamas says they launched 150 rockets. And from what we saw, that would be an accurate number. You could see Israel's missile defense system, the Iron Dome, sending off their missiles trying to shoot down these rockets. But the barrage was so large that they slipped past, slamming into buildings throughout the city.
More than 700 Israelis have been killed, along with 4 Americans. Others taken hostage as Israel fires back, striking more than 1,000 targets inside Gaza, where 500 Palestinians are dead.
The Israelis have now completely blockaded Gaza, and the Israeli Defense Forces come out with a statement saying that they have ordered a complete blockade of the Gaza Strip. They've even said that there will be no electricity, no food, no fuel. Everything is closed.
That's Fox's Benjamin Hall. Now, the Wall Street Journal reports Iran helped Hamas militants plan the attack. It's up to more than 2,000 people dead from Saturday's earthquake in Afghanistan.
Videos on social media show people in the Herat province scrambling through debris and rocks, struggling to find survivors.
That's Fox's Jill Nato. About 4,000 truck workers are walking off their jobs this hour, going on a strike against Mack after rejecting the tentative new contract, joining thousands of other UAW auto workers who are on strike at 25th day. They just handed out the Nobel Economics Prize to a Harvard professor, Claudia Golden, honored for her work studying the role of women in the job market. America's listening to Fox News.
Looking for top-notch personal protection? The Smith & Wesson Equalizer is here to level the playing field. Easy to rack slide, easy to control ergonomic grip. It's designed for you. With a 10, 13, and 15-round magazine included, size up for better control or size down for easier concealment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to upgrade your safety. Visit your local dealer now. To learn more about the Equalizer, visit smith-wesson.com. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. All capacity sizes may not be available in your jurisdiction. Be sure to check your local laws and regulations.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
We have cloudy skies and 45 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. Well, we found out on Friday the name of the teenager involved in that shooting following a Proctor High School football game earlier this year. The teen is identified as 17-year-old Jalil Chapman. He faces 7 charges, including counts of attempted murder and assault. Chapman was in court on Friday and pleaded not guilty to those allegations. Syracuse police continuing to look into a shooting in their city that resulted in a 19-year-old being hurt. The victim being treated at Upstate University Hospital. It's believed the man may have been shot near South Ave near the Price Right store. Officials asking for witnesses to come forward. Thanks to weather woes throughout the weekend, the final 3 races of Super Dirt Week taking place at the Oswego Speedway today. Organizers tried to get the races in Saturday and yesterday, but were not able to because of the weather, and it left the track quite slick. Gates. This is the first time since 2005 they've had to move it because they couldn't get it in on the weekend. Gates open at 10 this morning. Tickets are still available. The missing woman from Marcy was safely located on Friday. No further information was released, but it was around 5 p.m. on Friday that authorities said they located the missing woman who had not been seen for several days. And the Mega Millions jackpot, the Powerball jackpot is back up again. No winner over the weekend. $1.5 billion is at stake. The odds of claiming the top prize are 1 in 292 million. There hasn't been a winner since July, which is more than 30 drawings. WIBX News Time, 7:05. Your Weather Center forecast calling for the colder and wetter weather to continue. Mostly cloudy skies today, a high of 56 degrees. Cloudy overnight tonight, a low of 41. Occasional shower here or there is possible. Mostly cloudy Tuesday with a high of 58. Wednesday, slight chance of showers early and maybe in the afternoon as well. We could sneak in some sunshine Wednesday, a high of 60. And Thursday, chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a high of 60 again. WIBX News Time is 7:06. We have mostly cloudy skies and 45 degrees. All right, in sports, a rough weekend as the Bills saw their second defeat of the season, losing in London to the Jacksonville Jaguars, a final of 25-20. The Bills fall out of first place, now a game behind the Miami Dolphins. The Fish got another win. They're 4-1 as they beat up on the Giants. 31-16 was the final. Another ugly day for the Giants offense. They could not protect Daniel Jones again. He left the game with some type of injury. The extent of that injury is not known at this point, but then the backup came in. Who's the former Bills quarterback? Our backup is
Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor. He almost got hurt. They were throwing him around, too, just as quick. I think the stat was Daniel Jones sacked 18 times in the last 2 weeks. Are you kidding me? Maybe it was 17. Excuse me. I don't want to exaggerate. Anyway, the Giants look terrible. They're 1-4. The Jets picked up a win yesterday, and a nice win for Nathaniel Hackett. In fact, he got the game ball after the game. The Broncos head coach Sean Payton said Hackett's coaching job was maybe the worst thing he's ever seen in NFL history. But then the Jets get a win over the Broncos. The final there, 31-21. The Jets improved to 2-3. They host the Philadelphia Eagles coming up in week 6. A blowout in Sunday Night Football last night. The San Francisco 49ers over the Cowboys, 42-10. And coming up tonight, week 5 wraps up in the NFL. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Las Vegas Raiders, a game you can hear right here on WIBX. We'll just quickly jump to baseball, the playoffs. The Minnesota Twins beat the Astros last night 6-2. That series tied at a game apiece. Texas over Baltimore 11-8. The O's on the brink of being swept out of the playoffs. The National League Series resumed tonight. You've got Atlanta and Philadelphia. And, of course, the other series there is the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw annihilated on Friday. Holy cow. Or what did they play? Saturday. Holy cow. He gave up 6 runs in a third of an inning. That's a Cy Young winner right there.
On that video I just played of of Israel hitting the building in Gaza, there is some controversy about it that it seems that Al Jazeera zoomed in. She moved out of the shot. That she was actually in another building when the explosion first happened. And that Rob is saying that Israel hits the top of a building with a small munition to warn residents to vacate it before they ultimately flatten the building. And I get that. I guess that probably made it look a little, but it's like anything else. It's building right near her, and you're gonna feel the rumble of that. I would think that would be pretty scary.
Yeah,
I think she was legitimately afraid.
I think so too.
Yeah, fair enough. And then Wayne says, I'm a Dallas fan from the 80s. It's been since 96. We're coming up empty. This year we beat the Giants, Jets, and New England. And in other years, think about that. That might be something impressive. At least New England and the Giants. But today that isn't such a big deal. All right, Manansky.
Just quickly, when we wrapped up last hour, we were talking about The Rock and Oprah and all this stuff. I just did a quick search online. And again, this is the clickbait world we live in. The Rock comes clean about the Maui fires and Oprah's evil plan.
Is that the video I just played?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is the video.
It probably is. But
does
he come clean about it? He just says, I understand.
I understand. Whatever. I'm really sorry. I've learned from it. Whatever.
Oprah Winfrey responds to online criticism about the Maui fires. Backlash for Oprah over Maui fires. Maui wildfire conspiracies explained from Oprah land to space lasers. Oprah has last laugh after backlash over Maui fires. Tom Hanks panics as Oprah reveals his shady, and then the headlines cut out. And that's a story on Yahoo. Again, everything's a conspiracy. I don't know what's true and what's not in this case, but every story is a conspiracy. It sounds like there's a war going on and there's some conspiracy about you can't bomb a building. I mean, what are we talking about here? Right?
The world we live in, freaking crazy. That's all I'm saying. All right, coming up, we'll speak with Mighty John, the record guy, later on. Sheriff Rob Machel and Brandon Williams, Congressman Brandon Williams, coming up in a few minutes as well. For October, Mighty John is a vinyl expert. You could, let's say you have a record at home and you want to know the value. He is prepared to give you the value right on the spot. You could call in while he's on the air, coming up in a few minutes, and maybe there's something out there that might be worth a lot of money, and you think you have it. and John will walk you through it. But he has Rolling Stones. You know the Rolling Stones are coming out with a new album? They have new material coming out.
Oh, my goodness.
These guys are well into their 70s. And he has Rolling Stones records that are the most valuable, totaling in of all these records, if you add them all, totaling over, how much do you think? I'll tell you. $50,000.
Wow.
If you had these 10 records, Rolling Stones records. We'll get to that with Mighty John coming up in a second. Stand by. It's 7:11 on Monday morning at WIBX.
It's in Sarah's Flooring Outlet's 22nd anniversary with savings throughout the store.
Get 20%, 30%, up to 40% off during Sarah's anniversary sale.
Get new flooring for your home or business at deep, deep anniversary discounts.
Get 20% off select in-stock carpet at Sarah's.
Get 30% off easy-to-care-for sheet vinyl.
And get 40% off select in-stock hardwood.
It's in Sarah's 22nd anniversary sale with savings throughout the store. Plus, as always, get interest-free financing for 6 months.
Get 20% off select in-stock carpet.
Get 30% off sheet vinyl.
And get 40% off select in-stock hardwood at Sarah's Flooring Outlet's 22nd anniversary with savings throughout the store.
It's in Sarah's Flooring Outlet's 22nd anniversary. See why more people buy from the big store.
In Sarah's Flooring Outlet, we're your flooring superstar.
Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
Go green and save green right now at City Suburban. There has never been a better way to heat and cool your home than with a new Mitsubishi electric heat pump system from City Suburban. They provide energy-efficient comfort year-round, are whisper quiet, 40% more efficient than conventional systems, and offer room-by-room temperature control. And the best part is right now you can save up to $9,000 in rebates with the New York State Clean Heat Program while funds are available. Go green and make the switch today. And as always, receive City Suburban's POMG. That's peace of mind guarantee.
This is Chris from City Suburban on Route 233 in Westmoreland. There has never been a better time to upgrade your system than right now. You can save up to $9,000 with New York State Clean Heat rebates and make your home more comfortable and efficient for years to come. Call us today at 853-3899. That's 853-3899. Or visit us at citysuburban.com.
Flu season could be a doozy, but Kinney Drugs is all stocked up with this year's vaccines. Protect yourself and your family from the flu monster. Ages 2 and up in New York, 3 and up in Vermont. Schedule your annual flu shot at KinneyDrugs.com.
Oriskany Garage is your locally owned tire store that will compete with the internet retailers and chain stores on price, but we promise to crush them with personal and professional service. Give locally owned Oriskany Garage an opportunity to earn your tire and auto repair business. Brakes, tires, funny noises, warning lights, or any of your auto repair needs, come and experience best of the best service at Oriskany Garage or online at ogtire.com. Come on and say it with me and make the noise. ogtire.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas is now serving up the most amazing spas and hot tubs, Artesian Spas. They're 30 years of manufacturing excellence, American-made spa manufacturer with 30 years of experience. Artesian hot tubs are designed to provide a luxurious and relaxing experience for everyone by utilizing only the highest quality materials. I have to say, if you have back issues or you're just feeling aches and pains, there's nothing like a hot tub. When it's cold in the wintertime, there's nothing like going out and getting into a hot tub and feeling like you're somewhere else. You're not in the middle of upstate New York's winter. It's Artesian Spas, available at Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas, located in their brand new location, which is Seneca Turnpike, just west of Big Apple Music on Seneca Turnpike, Route 5 in the village. And technically, the address is Clinton, but it's just west of New Hartford.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
So the Rolling Stones, believe it or not, with brand new material coming out. How about that? Davey, is this John on the line? Brand new material coming out. A perfect time for us to say, if you have some old Rolling Stones, it might be worth some pretty good dough. Mighty John, the record guy, is on the line right now. John, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Great to be with you.
So we had said if anybody out there has something they want to throw at you, after the list, we'll throw the title or what have you, and you can determine what kind of value these records might have. But you never know. You might be finding it at a garage sale, an estate sale, or you might have it in your attic or your basement.
Absolutely. You never know. But if you find them, you'll be very happy.
And the other part of finding these records is, especially 45s, probably the albums as well, but the artwork and the covers, big deal.
Yeah, with 45s, those what we call picture sleeves, always worth more than the actual record itself, as you'll see when we count down the top 10 most valuable Rolling Stones records.
Okay, these are all on London, the London label, right?
Right, the
Okay.
original label, London Records. Yeah.
All right, what do we have?
Well, the big hit, I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Well, you can if you have the 45. With its picture sleeve, it's up to $350. The album, The Satanic Majesty's Request, stereo copy up to $50. Mono copy is what you want, up to $400. The Stones' first album, simply called The Rolling Stones, up to $400. The 45, Not Fade Away, with its picture sleeve, up to $500. The 45, Heart of Stone, with its picture sleeve, up to $600. Don't Want to Be Your Beast of Burden, that 45 with the Rolling Stones, with picture sleeve, and the picture sleeve is where all the money is, up to $3,000. The album, Big Hits, High Tide and Green Grass, millions of copies sold. What makes it worth money? The cover makes it worth money. If on the cover the words Big Hits, High Tide, and Green Grass are printed on 3 lines in uppercase lettering, $50. But if the title on the album, Big Hits, High Tide, and Green Grass, is printed on 1 line in lowercase lettering, then you're up to $7,500.
Wow. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see them on the internet. You can pull that up, see what's going on. Look for the album Big Hits, not Big Hits, 12 by 5, one of the early albums for the Stones. Now, regular black vinyl copy up to about $50, but they did put them out in blue vinyl. If you find a copy in blue vinyl, 12 by 5 up to $10,000. The first 45 by the Stones ever released in the United States never made the charts. Hardly any radio station played the record. It's called I Want to Be Your Man, with Stoned on the flip side. Current value, no picture sleeve, just the record, up to $12,000. And, of course, the biggie, 1968 Street Fighting Man, almost 100% of the value for that picture sleeve, showing the cops and protesters fighting with each other, up to $18,000.
Wow. That is unbelievable. And you might find one of these just sitting in an estate sale or something. And
thrift stores, too. Don't forget. I can often find very valuable records at Goodwill.
Yeah. Okay, I want a couple things. eBay. Be very careful of eBay. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. You know, 2 things. There are fakes out there. For example, the Beast of Burden picture sleeve, $3,000. Originals are a very light lavender color. Fakes, counterfeits, are a very deep purple grape color. So the average person might not know that. So you got to be careful. We always tell people, if you're thinking about buying a very valuable record, say $1,000 or more, contact us. Let us know. And at no charge, we'll give you our estimate of whether it's real or fake. So be careful.
I have somebody asking here on the, which I think I might have already thrown this to you, but it's Elvis Presley and Kid Galahad. 6 great songs. This is a 45, but it has 3 songs per side, right?
Yeah, it's an EP, extended play. Black record label, up to about $100. But if the record label is orange, then it's up to $200.
Okay, all right. And one more, a little fun fact from Mike this morning about the Rolling Stones song, I Want to Be Your Man, written by Lennon and McCartney.
Yeah. Well, you've heard the song before, I'm sure, but
Yes.
not by the Stones, probably.
Yep, absolutely. All right, good stuff. And you also have an amazing digital catalog that if somebody had any record in the world, it's all there. The records are there.
Right. Just go to our website, moneymusic.com, moneymusic.com. Get our flash drive. It lists the values for over 1 million different records by over 75,000 different recording artists. $24.95. We pay the shipping. Just plug it into your computer and find the value of any record.
Love it. As always, John, we appreciate it. Have a wonderful, it's moneymusic.com. Have a wonderful week, a wonderful month. We'll talk to you again with another list down the road.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you. Mighty John, the record guy. Can you imagine walking in and have, I mean, you talk about this, $1.55 billion is the lottery tonight.
Right.
Your chances of winning that are really, really poor.
1 in 292 million.
Those numbers just don't seem to, you gotta really know what those numbers, you gotta think about those numbers and let it sink in and realize what kind of chance you have. But somebody's going to win. Eventually, somebody's going to win. But you could have an $18,000 record sitting in your collection and you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah.
Have you played the lottery?
I have not in the last couple of weeks. I just feel like I know it's only $2.
You're
the
just
problem
throwing money away.
Right. I'm just throwing money away. I know it's only $2, but then you go in there and you're like, you know what? Let me get, how many can I get for 20? Right.
You're right.
So now every time you're just throwing $20 out the window. It's foolish.
So you,
for me, because I'm not going to win.
So
I hope you win or somebody we know wins. I'm not going to win.
So you're at more than $1.5 billion tonight. So if you were to win that, you'd take the cash option.
Mm-hmm.
You would they'd cut it in half. So apparently that's what they do with the cash option. So now you're looking at $750 million. Mm-hmm. Or so, a little more than that. And then taxes will be taken out, at least in New York, which will cut it in half again. So you're looking at about $375 million when it's all said and done. Is it even worth it? Oh, I guess it is, if you were to win.
I mean, it is, but when you think about it in that context, it's like, wow, that's not that much money.
And they say the thing to do if you were to win would be to immediately do nothing in terms of spending money.
Immediately do nothing.
Do nothing. Well, get an attorney that you can trust. Get a financial advisor that you can trust, someone you know you can trust. And then invest the money very wisely. Now, why not take, I think for 30 years, it might be somewhere in that range, you could take the whole amount and it would be, you get a bigger lump sum for payment number one, and then the payments continue. And I think they might grow as time goes on. But you'd be getting money for the next 30 years. But I think a lot of people think, I'm not going to be alive for 30 years, maybe. You could always pass that on. I believe you could will that to someone.
I believe you could. The other thing is, I think Joe mentioned this Thursday or Friday, or maybe Andrew did. How many $1 million winners could you have? Would it be more intriguing to you? I think I would play more. If they told me tonight we're going to have 1,500 $1 million winners, or whatever that number breaks down to, then I would go, okay, yeah, I'll throw $20 at that. I think.
I guess, but oftentimes what you have is you don't have any. Maybe you have $6 or $7 million winners, right? You could get
no, but instead of the grand prize being essentially one person, if they said we're going to break it down into many small prizes,
yeah. Okay. Then the other part of this is that's very interesting is that you could have, I think it's 4 numbers and the Powerball. So what does that mean? You're one number away from winning it all.
5 out of 6,
and that is worth about $100,000.
That's wild.
So maybe that's worth $1 million.
I think that might be worth $1 million. Powerball.
Maybe it's maybe that's Mega Millions. I don't know. And then if you have the Mega Plier, which would be 3 times, you'd multiply your winnings by 3, but not with the big jackpot.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Okay, so if you get 5 numbers, no Powerball, that's $1 million.
That's $1 million.
4 numbers in a Powerball, is 50,000.
$50,000.
To hit 100, you got to get the power play times 2.
Or 3 or whatever it ends up doing. Yeah. Wow. Just unbelievable, right?
And you know what's interesting, too, is they have this power play. I'm not even familiar with it, but I see it here. Times 2, 3, 4, 5, or 10. It doesn't change, obviously. So if you won the grand prize, the 1.5, you wouldn't get times 2, times 5, times 10, or anything like that.
You don't get it for that.
Your grand prize is just your grand prize. If you get the 5 numbers and you win the $1 million and you don't get a Powerball, you just get the 5 numbers, it's $1 million. And then you have a chance to double it if it's a power play 2, 3, 4, 5, or 10. But again, you hit the $1 million and it's a power play times 10, you don't get $10 million. You get $2 million.
Yeah. Well, you take the you take that jackpot though, wouldn't you? Especially when it's $1.55 billion. Wow. The Hobica free money question of the day coming up in a few minutes. We'll do that at about 7:38 this morning. And this morning's jackpot, according to Siri, is how much money?
$200.
$200. A $200 jackpot we'll be playing for coming up. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients right now. The Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. If you're having issues and you need a physician, you do not need a recommendation from your doctor or a referral. You can just call the Falcon Clinic at 315-507-4751 and schedule an appointment. If you're in need of a new family doctor, they have a handful of doctors there under one roof at the Falcon Clinic, each with their own different specialty, which is great for different services when they're needed. And if you need a new general practitioner, they have you covered. Call today, 315-507-4751, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
Looking for top-notch personal protection? The Smith & Wesson Equalizer is here to level the playing field. Easy-to-rack slide, easy-to-control ergonomic grip. It's designed for you. With a 10, 13, and 15-round magazine included, size up for better control or size down for easier concealment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to upgrade your safety. Visit your local dealer now. To learn more about the Equalizer, visit smith-wesson.com. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. All capacity sizes may not be available in your jurisdiction. Be sure to check your local laws and regulations.
Stop into Mattress Express in New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies. Plus, simply do a comfort test on our mattresses and get a $25 prepaid Visa card. Names like the Number Bed by Instant Comfort, Tempur-Pedic, Purple, Sealy, and more. Hurry, this is a limited time offer.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim. A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
Hi, former CI officer and survival expert Jason Hansen here. I teach people how to prepare for the unexpected. And right now, most Americans with a 401k, IRA, or other types of retirement accounts are not prepared for a financial crisis that could hit the U.S. in the next 45 days if we don't fix our ramped up government spending. I have partnered with Advantage Gold, the #1 rated precious metals company in America, to release my new Financial Crisis Survival Kit that's 100% free for everyone with a retirement account who calls in today. Simply call 800-900-8000. My Financial Crisis Survival Kit is jam-packed with valuable information on how you can protect yourself with physical gold and silver. Your first step to protection is calling 800-900-8000 and speaking to one of their Gold IRA specialists.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Check with your financial advisor before investing.
Again, simply call 800-900-8000.
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
Contractors and landscapers, rent your way to greater profits with Bobcat equipment from Warner Sales and Service. From heavy work right down to the fussy stuff, Bobcat loaders, excavators, and a wide variety of attachments will handle all the tough jobs like lifting, digging, pushing, carrying, as well as the more precise applications, grading and leveling. You'll be able to take on more jobs and get your current projects done with Warner Sales and Service. Whether it's the tough lifting and digging or the more precise work with attachments, you name it. Warner Sales and Service has the Bobcat rentals to make sure your projects get done. Tough jobs demand tough equipment. So when you have a tough job, rent a Bobcat machine. Stop in today at Warner Sales and Service, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona, and at WarnerSS.com.
Warner's, where quality still counts. At Warner's.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-509-2228. 888-509-2228. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
Adirondack Home Furniture is fully stocked from wall to wall with top quality, durable, American-made pieces for any room. With over 40 bedroom and dining room pieces on display and quality sofas starting at $8.99, you're sure to find the pieces to transform your home. And don't forget, Adirondack Home Furniture has more than just rustic pieces. They carry a wide variety of modern, farmhouse, and traditional styles. If you're looking to transform your home or complete a room with a few pieces, now is the time to buy. Because at Adirondack Home Furniture, you'll save the amount of the sales tax. Save the amount of the sales tax on any purchase for your living room, bedroom, office, and occasional furniture. All solid wood and American made, including in-stock items, clearance items, and even special orders. Adirondack Home Furniture has the best value and top quality furniture for your home. Visit them at the former Riverside Mall, Horatio Street, Utica, or browse the inventory online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Hey, and Sarah's Flooring Outlet is the area's leading flooring store for Pergo Extreme by Mohawk. What a great product this is. And they have the #1 best price and the biggest stock in stock at the largest showroom in the area at their Route 49 Plaza. Sal says, come on in and check out Pergo Extreme. It's a 60-mile radius, guaranteed lowest price. 60-mile radius. Pergo Extreme from Incera's offers deeper visuals. There is a better protection, a deeper warranty. It's dent-proof, 100% waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof, only at Incera's Flooring Outlet. Plus, you get interest-free financing for 6 months. Check out their website, IncerasFlooringOutlet.com, Incera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, coming up, we'll speak with Brandon Williams, who is, I really want his take on what's going on with the Speaker of the House. You know, he was somebody who I believe really supported Kevin McCarthy. And now McCarthy's saying he's leaving. That's going to be very interesting to see what he has to say about that. And we'll speak with him coming up in just a minute.
Yeah, and his thoughts as well on what's going on with the war now that's going on, Israel and Hamas.
Second war. And are we sending the right message by many people in Congress? There are several Republicans saying we need to pull funding from Ukraine. I don't think there's anything wrong with making sure that every penny is spent correctly.
Right.
But to pull the money is, we can't afford to lose this. They can't afford to lose.
So to get back into, and again, a lot of this stuff is circular. So I think it was Joe Rogan recently, and it wasn't him saying it, but again, it was one of these things that goes viral online, so people talk about it. Somebody claimed, and I don't know if there's any truth in this, that we just... I don't know if it's so far we've given Ukraine $6 billion to fight the war over there, and the point somebody was making was we gave Ukraine $6 billion, yet Maui, Hawaii, is an American state, and they estimate that if we rebuilt every home that was charred, it would be $5 billion. And why don't we just redirect the $6 billion to $5 billion?
And let's let Russia win and take over the world. That's exactly what we should do. And then we wouldn't have to worry. People wouldn't be able to go to Hawaii to vacation because it wouldn't be safe. I mean, come on. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, this, again, look, I don't want to make it sound like I don't
listen,
think.
I'm not going after you on this, but this is what people are.
No.
I mean, this is a must-win here. There are evils in the world, and we must prevent those evils from winning. It is, and the same thing. This is now Wall Street Journal today reporting that Iran trained Hamas to execute this attack that happened over the weekend in Israel. This is going to expand this war that is now underway. This second war that's underway. I don't know. This is not good. Brandon Williams. It'll be very interesting to get his take.
So, and again, this is to me an example of, I don't want to make it sound like I don't think everybody should have a voice, but again, everybody gets to weigh in on things, and the one that stands out from the crowd, or that is I think that's why in Congress, the far left and the far right get the most attention from the media, because it's out of the box thinking, it's something the other ones aren't saying.
Well,
so
if
we
somebody
pay
says
attention
something
to it.
normal, you don't pay attention to
Exactly,
it. Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's normal and responsible. Why would I pay any attention to that?
Next. Because it's all about clicks.
Right. We want you're going to get a lot of people viewing. Can you believe what so-and-so just said? And that's the stuff that gets the play right now. All right, let's do Hobica's free money question of the day. We mentioned it's a $200 jackpot. Davey will take caller number 3 right now at 315-736-0186. Caller number 3 right now, 315-736-0186 from the Hobica Law Firm. Great question today. Manansky.
While you were away, there were a couple of days I thought I had excellent questions, in fact. One was about the home run chase and Barry Bonds, but one in particular, and it surprised me, I actually had a decent Kennedy impression in there as well. But one of his famous speeches was, ask not what, your country can do for you, etc. But I think it was the 5th of the 6th. It was the anniversary from 1961 where he gave a speech on civil defense. And my question was, President John F. Kennedy advised Americans to build these because of the climate that we were in. And he advised American families to build bomb shelters to protect them from atomic fallout in the event of a nuclear exchange with then the Soviet Union. And that was the trivia question. But, I mean...
Remember every school had a bomb shelter?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, their old radio station did.
That's exactly right. Back then, that was a big deal. Are we heading back into those scary times? Got to kind of wonder a little bit, right? All right, who's the caller, Davey? Who do we have?
Rosemary.
Rosemary. Hello, Rosemary. Good morning. Where are you calling from, Rosemary?
Utica.
Utica. You all right? You ready to do this thing?
$200.
Yes.
You are. Okay. All right. Deep breath. Don't be nervous.
Is that your final answer?
Don't be nervous. You have one.
Okay.
You know the deal is you got to come up with one answer, and you belt it out, and that is your answer. Okay. You'll have 7 seconds, ready to go for $200 from the Hobica Law Firm. Here's your question. Lisa Montgomery is better known by this name. Ready, go.
You're going to be on hold. I don't know.
Lisa Montgomery. I'm going to ask Davey this. Davey, here's your question. Lisa Montgomery is better known by this name.
No clue.
Is it Taylor Swift?
Lisa Montgomery is coming to the Stanley Theater on November 11th.
Kennedy.
Oh.
Kennedy. Lisa Kennedy Montgomery, better known as the MTV VJ Kennedy, and from Fox Business.
Wow.
Will be coming with Jimmy Fallon to the Stanley Theater on November 11th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster and at the Stanley box office.
Montgomery.
Yeah. The Kennedy is the answer, Rosemary. Rosemary?
Yes.
Kennedy was the answer.
Yes, I heard.
So, and we were just kind of talking about Kennedy, although a different Kennedy, JFK Kennedy. I am going to give you the all-in-one food and fun card from Aquavino Babes 72, which reopens Friday. The Comets season gets back underway. Taylor and the Cook and the concession stands at the Adirondack Bank Center and Nexus. You hold on, Rosemarie, and Davey's going to hook you up, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And there you go.
Those are obviously, as you mentioned, at the Adirondack Bank Center, which they had a preseason game on Friday, and then the Utica Comets are in action. The season opener, home opener, Friday night against the Syracuse Crunch.
Hard to believe, right?
Can you believe it?
Yeah,
we're doing that thing they do on television. Can you believe?
Yeah, here we go. Lisa Kennedy Montgomery is coming with Jimmy. So Jimmy was on Friday too, right?
He was hilarious as always.
Good stuff. Can't wait for the show. Don't wait any longer on your tickets. It's at the Stanley, so it's a whole different show, including Kennedy from MTV. Going to be pretty awesome. All right, Congressman Brandon Williams is up next. A very important time right now. Very interesting to get his answers on everything going on as we speak. 741 at WIBX.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
Don't take chances with your brakes. Find out why Oriskany Garage is a top-rated destination for auto repair in the Utica area. Oriskany Garage delivers friendly professional service, great prices, and a commitment to never, never try to sell you something that you don't need. For brakes, tires, funny noises, warning lights, or any of your auto repair needs, come and experience award-winning service at Oriskany Garage down the street from Utica College or online at ogtire.com. Come on and say it with me and make the noise. ogtire.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Online at CordellCordell.com. 518-554-0000. 100 Great Oaks Boulevard, Suite 110, Albany, New York, 12203.
Hi, this is Kira Meelan. After almost a century in business, Meelan's Carpet One is known for many things. Our commitment to customers, for example. We go above and beyond to make your shopping experience exceptional from start to finish. We're also known for quality installation. Our experienced installers are like part of the family. They've been with us for years and they do an incredible job. But one thing everyone knows us for is Karastan area rugs and carpets. And this month is National Karastan Month. Karastan area rugs and carpets offer unmatched quality and timeless beauty for your home. Many of the choices available come with a lifetime stain warranty. And with the lowest prices of the season, no interest financing, and up to $1,000 in savings, National Karastan Month is the best time to invest in new carpet or area rugs. So this month, stop by Meelan's Carpet One on Old Commercial Drive in Yorkville, across from Joe Tahan's, where the good Meelan feeling means incredible savings and financing on Karastan area rugs and carpet.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, 744. There's so much going on between Washington and around the world. Congressman Brandon Williams is on the line right now. Congressman, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
Bill, my pleasure. Good morning.
Wow, very difficult time we are in the midst of right now. Before we get to Washington, can you talk about the happenings over the weekend in Israel?
Well, I've been to Israel. I've taken my family to Israel. I'm a very strong supporter of Israel. I've worked also in Jordan, next door, and have Muslim friends in Jordan. So I've been in the region. It is absolutely criminal what's happening.
Yeah.
This is not politics. This is abject terror, and the jubilant murderers of Hamas must be eliminated.
Yeah, and now we're learning today, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Iran actually trained Hamas over the course of the last several weeks to prepare for this attack. I mean, that's scary in itself because it potentially could broaden this whole conflict.
I've been to Israel over multiple times in my life. As Israel has made peace with its neighbors, and particularly extending itself for the first time to peace accords, the Abraham Accords, down in in the Gulf states, it really threatens the power of Iran. And in the process, the Palestinians have lost a lot of their political leverage that they had under Yasser Arafat and the PLO, where they used terror to advance their goals and to earn or win the sympathies of the world. And so, as Israel made peace, the money flowing into the Palestinian leaders dropped off significantly because people were more interested in peace and not war. And so when you see these actions, stirring the pot, it's really Iran that's funding them and training them in the background. And it's a very, very cynical cycle of the Hamas leaders and the Hezbollah leaders up in Syria to be, frankly, to get more money for themselves, even at the expense of their own people.
How do we? How does Israel fight this war, especially that we've now learned that there are over 100 hostages, and by the way, some of them American, that are being held in various spots around the territory there. How do we? And then of course, there are thousands and thousands of innocent people who are just living there. How do we get these people and make them accountable?
Well, Hamas is the government of the West Bank. Of the Gaza Strip.
Right.
So Hamas is literally the government and provides all the government services. And they are the ones that sent 2,000 terrorists into Israel that literally murdered women and children, the elderly, and took all these hostages. Israel is going to invade Gaza, is going to root all these people out.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a very bloody ground war. So that's just what's going to happen.
I don't think there's any other. I don't think there's any other option, right? No more sympathy. No more. There's just no other option.
Well, the best option would be that the residents of the Gaza Strip reject Hamas leadership,
right,
and force them out and force a change in their government and no longer tolerate that. But in their governing documents of Hamas is the elimination of Israel. You saw the protests in New York City yesterday where they chant, from the river to the sea, and that's a code word for wiping Israel off the face of the map, from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean. And they use these code words, but that is their policy. It's literally the foundation of their government is that all Jews in Israel would be killed. And so that's who your neighbor is, and that's who the people of the Gaza Strip have allowed to lead them. So I don't see a lot of innocent people here.
Mike this morning saying, problem is every militant that you kill seems to create 5 more militants. That is a problem, as they're martyred.
Well, they're martyred, but it's called a pay to slay program, where if you or your children kill a Jew or an Israeli, you actually get a stipend from the Iran government.
Wow.
It gets funneled in. And so they have a system where they reward martyrs, and they recruit martyrs from among, frankly, troubled young people and send them in to do these terroristic activities because that's how they provide for their family. And so it's an incredibly cruel system. They call it play to slay or pay to slay. And the money from Iran is, the lifeblood of that whole system.
Yeah.
So it's really not what it seems. It's really a system of state-sponsored terrorism.
So we're speaking with Congressman Brandon Williams. Really, this should mean for the Biden administration that the deal that was being cut with Iran has to be now off the table. The administration is saying no money has been released as of yet. I would think this would mean no money should be released going forward.
It never should have been
in the first place.
It never should have been on the table in the first place.
Yeah.
It's the nature of Iran, that they are the world's leaders of state-sponsored terrorism is well known. It's well documented, and what fantasy the Biden administration is living in, that they think they can give them resources and it won't be spent on terrorism, is absolute fantasy. Imagine if you had $10 in your right pocket and that was your lunch money, and then somebody gave you $10 and put it in your left pocket and said, hey, you have to use this $10 for your lunch. What would you do with the money that's in your right pocket? Well, you do whatever you wanted with it.
Right.
And so the Biden administration is saying that, the $6 billion that we gave them is only used for food. We're not guilty. Really? Do they think that we're that naive?
Yeah. Are you nervous about? Obviously, we should all be nervous. The possibility that something like this can expand into something much larger, potentially a world war. I mean, you have North Korea, Iran, the war in Ukraine. Boy, this is a scary moment right now.
My first concern is for here at home. I was at the border, I think, as you know, a little over 2 weeks ago, literally thousands, and some days 10,000 people coming across the southern border. We have no idea who they are. And many are not ever, captured or documented or, processed and then released in the United States. Many just cross over and we don't know who they are. We have had, I think, 115 people on our terrorist watch list have been intercepted so far this year. These are just the ones that we know about. And we know that there's lots and lots of people every day, hundreds or even thousands of people every day crossing into this country that we never know who they are. I think we'd be incredibly naive to think that our enemies are not planning things within our own country. Right. And so that's just something that we should be aware of. The world is different, today than it was a week ago. And so the second thing that you mentioned is that I think we really should be worried that the House of Representatives is in such chaos, that Biden is so weak, and it invites this kind of action, and that we should be watching what's happening with China and Taiwan. I was just in discussions with an ambassador from Taiwan earlier this week, or I should say last week, and they're concerned. They're concerned about American weakness and what that does to embolden China in their ambitions. So I think it's a very dangerous time.
Let's talk about the House of Representatives. Obviously, you've supported McCarthy, and
I did.
And are you nervous that this means? I had a good Republican friend who said, I don't know what it's. I don't know if I can continue to be a Republican anymore. We're about to have the crazies take control. Are you worried about that and what that would mean to? As it is government, nothing seems to be getting done. This would almost completely secure that the government would be shut down.
Well, we don't know. The government did not shut down. We get to revisit that again, unfortunately, on November 17th, or before November 17th, hopefully. I think, 208 Democrats voted to oust McCarthy, along with 8 Republicans, and that is what has sent us into chaos. And so I think there's a bitter partisanship, both inside the Republican Party, but also between Republicans and Democrats, that really, frankly, don't have much wisdom or insight or foresight. We've effectively decapitated a third of our legislative government, with the House of Representatives being unable to do anything until we have a speaker. I think it invites these kinds of dangerous times, and it's easy to blame 8 Republicans, but 208 Democrats also voted.
Well, they clearly
to send us into chaos.
Right. They clearly played politics and did not think of what's best for the country. The Democrats.
Everyone does, and I wouldn't throw shade on one party or the other. It is, frankly, it's why I ran for this office. Is that we have to have better leaders.
Yeah.
We have to have better leadership. We have to have people that put our country first.
Who do you?
And I just don't see that happening.
Who do you support right now for Speaker?
All of the candidates are excellent people. Steve Scalise is a great person. Jim Jordan is a terrific person. And there's a big movement to bring back Kevin McCarthy. So I just want to get in conference, and which is the Republicans all together, and pick someone that can get to 218 votes on the House floor, and let's get back to work. So any of them are acceptable to me.
All right.
Forgive me if the legal term is wrong, but there was some talk about expelling Gates. What do you feel about that?
We can't. You can't just expel a member of Congress. That's just not how it works, and it really shouldn't work. You can kick him out of your conference. You can make it so he can no longer caucus with the Republicans. But with such a thin majority, how many people? Do we kick 8 people out of our conference and then put ourselves in the minority? Do we, take action? The people have to take action at the ballot box. The way our system's set up. And so to talk about retribution, frankly, I think is, subverts our democratic system and subverts our Constitution. So, I don't support taking these kinds of actions because they're not legal. They're not allowed.
Well, and the part that you cannot ignore is when he goes back to his district, he is being applauded for what he has done. He may be getting a great deal of criticism from Republicans in Congress, but at home he's being applauded for this.
And that's who he represents.
Matt Gaetz is a third-generation politician. Third generation. His family has built their wealth based on their political careers and their manipulation, frankly, of the political system.
Yep.
He's never had a job outside of politics. He went to law school just to so that he could have a job in politics. He is manipulating Republican voters to think that he is for them or one of them. He is not. He is a third-generation career politician, and the worst form of what we have in our politics today.
Does it make you wonder, what? I mean, because it's so difficult for someone like you to accomplish anything when it comes to change. Does it make you shake your head and say, "What was I thinking"?
Yeah.
And by the way, I asked that question knowing you've had your first cup of coffee. So.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm into my second.
Yes, all right.
Bill, it does. It is just it makes me sick to my stomach that we allow this people to put themselves above our country, and it is. But you can't reform it from the outside.
Yeah.
You have to be present, and on the inside, for me, I have to speak truth. I have to try to influence my other members of Congress, and that's why I'm there.
Meanwhile, we have several military positions, high-up military positions now being confirmed because of a battle over politics, a battle over abortion. So this is a very scary time, and continue to plow forward. We appreciate your time, Brandon. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure, gentlemen. Have a good day.
All right, you do the same. Congressman Brandon Williams, as disturbed as the rest of us, and it's not exclusive to one party by any means. I got a break. WIBX Utica Rome. It is 8 o'clock.
It's day 3 of Israel's war with Hamas. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Before I went to bed last night, I got a message that my commander in my service has just been killed.
Aran Levin is a former Israeli soldier and just told Fox.
Every single person today in Israel knows someone, a friend or family, or a person that he knows that has been killed, injured, or kidnapped.
It's up to more than 800 Israelis dead and at least 4 Americans.
This morning, Hamas and Islamic Jihad launching more rockets toward major population centers, including Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
Fox's Trey Yingst in southern Israel near the border with Gaza, where the Israeli defense minister says they're putting up a blockade. No electricity, no fuel, no food for Palestinians there.
What we know from inside the Gaza Strip, according to other sources and journalists that I've spoken with, the death toll is rising rapidly there. There are hundreds of Hamas and Islamic Jihad militants that have been killed in Israeli strikes and the firefights along the border. There are also many civilians that have been killed. The Israelis are making very clear, given what took place, they are basically going to bomb the Gaza Strip into submission.
Some Israelis are being held hostage there. The Wall Street Journal reports Iran helped plan Saturday's surprise attack from Gaza.
Leaders from both Hamas and Hezbollah confirming Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps had been working with the terrorist organization since August.
That's Fox Business Network Cheryl Casoni. An earthquake ravaged Afghanistan. Rescuers are using shovels in their bare hands, searching rubble for survivors. Saturday's quake blamed for more than 2,000 deaths. Police keep searching for the gunman who shot up a party early yesterday at a community center in White Township, Pennsylvania, north of Pittsburgh, killing 1 person, wounding 8 others. About 4,000 Mack truck workers went on strike this morning after rejecting a tentative new contract.
Mack has facilities in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Florida. This strike comes as the UAW strike continues against the Detroit Big Three automakers.
That's Jill Nato. America's listening to Fox News.
Looking for top-notch personal protection? The Smith & Wesson Equalizer is here to level the playing field. Easy to rack slide, easy to control ergonomic grip. It's designed for you. With a 10, 13, and 15-round magazine included, size up for better control or size down for easier concealment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to upgrade your safety. Visit your local dealer now. To learn more about the Equalizer, visit smith-wesson.com. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. All capacity sizes may not be available in your jurisdiction. Be sure to check your local laws and regulations.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Good morning. We have cloudy skies, 45 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:03. And this news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Well, the teenager who authorities say is responsible for the shooting incident that occurred outside and after a Proctor High School football game earlier this year was in Oneida County Court on Friday, identified as 17-year-old Jalil Chapman. He faces 7 counts, including assault and attempted murder. The teen entered a plea of not guilty while appearing in court on Friday. A missing Marcy woman was safely located on Friday evening. Authorities called off their search after they say that they identified Madeline Fiore. She was located in the town of Marcy. Reports say she was taken to the hospital for an evaluation. The woman had been reported missing for several days before she was discovered. Syracuse police looking into a shooting that left a 19-year-old injured. The victim arrived at Upstate University Hospital to be treated for a wound to his hip. It's believed the man may have been shot near South Avenue, near the Price Right store over the weekend. Officials asking for any witnesses to come forward. Thanks to weather, the final 3 races of Super Dirt Week will take place today at the Oswego Speedway. Organizers tried to get the races in on Saturday and, of course, yesterday, but were not able to because of the rain. It's the first time since 2005 the event was not able to be completed on Sunday as scheduled. Gates open at 10 a.m. this morning. Tickets are still available. We're learning about the rescheduled concert date for Bruce Springsteen. Of course, Springsteen had to cancel his concerts both in Syracuse and Albany Earlier this year, because of his ulcer situation, it's been announced that Springsteen will perform in Syracuse on April 18th and in Albany on April 15th. And Powerball is now up to $1.55 billion. The odds of winning, though, are unchanged. It's 1 in 292 million. There's not been a Powerball jackpot winner since July, a span of more than 30 drawings. WIBX News Time is coming up on 8:06. Your Weather Center forecast comes to you from Eyewitness News. Mostly cloudy skies today, but staying dry, a high reaching 56 degrees. We do have a slight chance of showers overnight tonight, mostly cloudy and a low of 41. Mostly cloudy Tuesday, but again, mostly dry, a high of 58. Wednesday could see some rain showers and a high of 60. Bill, right now we have mostly cloudy skies, the sun trying to make an appearance, but we are at 46 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:06. All right, in sports from the IBEW 43 local sports desk, rough weekend for the Giants and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills losing in London to the Jacksonville Jaguars, the final 25-20. The Bills dropped to 3-2 on the season. They fall out of first place. That's because the Miami Dolphins took care of the New York Giants 31-16 the final. The Fish improved to 4-1 and take over the lead in the AFC East. The Jets picked up a win yesterday in Denver. They beat the Broncos 31-21. Huge day for Breece Hall. He had a big touchdown run, and Nathaniel Hackett got the game ball after yesterday's game from head coach Robert Saleh. The Jets improved to 2-3 on the season. Sunday Night Football last night, the 49ers made quick work of the Dallas Cowboys, blowing out the boys 42-10 the final. San Francisco stays undefeated, and the Cowboys dropped to 3-2 on the season. Coming up tonight, Week 5 wraps up. The Las Vegas Raiders host the Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football. Our coverage begins at 7:30. Playoff baseball. The American League over the weekend got the first two games in. Minnesota and Houston tied at one game apiece. The other series there has the Baltimore Orioles on the brink of being swept. The Rangers lead that series 2-0 before they return to Texas tomorrow to host games 3 and possibly game 4. The National League played a game on Saturday, off Sunday. They play again tonight. The Diamondbacks beating up the Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw as they took the first game on the road. And the Phillies shut out the Braves 3-0, so now they lead that best-of-5 series 1-0. What else here did I want to mention? Syracuse, of course, crushed over the weekend. Up next, they'll play the number 4 team in the country, Florida State. NASCAR over the weekend. Smitty, it was
A.J.
Allmendinger, which was a surprise. They're down to the round of 8 in NASCAR. And who did I forget? The Utica Pioneers were crushed by Cortland this weekend. Utica Comets open up their regular season on Friday night. They host the Syracuse Crunch at the Adirondack Bank Center.
Today is Columbus Day, or Indigenous Peoples Day, and it means there's no bank, no school, no government offices. However, the stock market is open today. But did I say no school? Yeah.
Yeah, no school.
No school as well.
Son had a 4-day weekend. Must be nice.
This will be a day starting so it's this coming Sunday. Your Sunday paper OD will be delivered. The following Sunday will be the final Sunday. It will be delivered. After that, it's going to be delivered via mail. So on a weekend like this, you wouldn't get it on Sunday. You'll have your paper delivered on Monday. But oops, it's Columbus Day. There's no mail service, so you wouldn't get your Sunday paper until Tuesday. That is 2 weeks from yesterday, where that will begin for the OD.
So here's a comment, and 2 comments, in fact. Sue says, they said in the paper yesterday that Sunday's paper will be delivered on Saturday. And then Terry says, in a similar vein here, I got the same letter. You talked about the letter you got from your paper carrier, or from your mail carrier. No, your paper carrier, sorry. Terry says, did you notice the small article on the front page? It said that subscribers would receive their Sunday paper on Saturday. I'm not sure if that was a misprint and was meant to state that the e-edition would be available on Saturday. But we have Sue and Terry both saying that there was some notice in the paper over the weekend that Sunday's paper would actually be delivered on Saturday. So if that's the case, they're writing your Sunday paper on Friday, right? On Friday night?
So do they make up the news on Saturday? So you kind of like, I think this
It's
is
all
going to happen.
predictions.
We predict the Bills will win that game after all.
It's all predictions.
So
I don't get that.
So
Two people saying there was an article, though.
Does that mean the e-edition?
Well, there's that's what Terry suggested. She said, I'm not sure if that was a misprint, and they meant to say that the e-edition would be available on Saturday. But how do you print Sunday's paper? Again, I don't work in this business. Speculation here on my part. Sunday's paper would have to be printed on Friday night then, right? So that's Friday night's paper. That's not Sunday's paper.
If you're going to be delivering it by mail
on Saturday morning,
it would have to. So the Sunday paper would have to be printed on Friday night. So you'd be getting, and already the news is a couple of days old. This is awful. This is just a mess. It's just a giant mess. How'd you like to be Shenantries right now? They've relied on those coupons coming out on Sunday for years. And now what? What are we doing now? They're going to deliver them to you in your email? I don't know. What's coming?
I have to tell you, the only thing worse than delivering the news 2 days late is delivering the news 2 days early.
It's unbelievable.
Right?
Right.
So does
in both cases, you're getting old news. Both cases. Davey.
So will that mean that the vendors get the paper on Saturday, or do they get it on Sunday?
I would have thought that would mean if you want the Sunday paper on Sunday, you could go to your local store and pick it up. But it doesn't sound like that's going to be true. It's still going to be outdated news. I just think this whole thing is a gigantic mess. And I don't know how the OD survives this.
I think I haven't completely conceptualized this, and I'm sure there are already patents on it. They just have to make, with all the 3D printing technology and everything and the regular printing technology, they got to make like a little box.
Little printer?
Yeah, so you can have your E version, and then you just hit spacebar, and it prints it up, and it comes folded like a newspaper. It comes out, but just,
okay, all right.
Because people like to feel it and hold it.
So you'd want,
even if it's off your printer, if you feel like it's Sunday morning and I'm getting the Sunday paper,
right.
even if it was written on Friday,
you'd want a large print. You'd want a large printer. So you could actually not regular. You'd want to be able to print the size of a newspaper, which the OD is much smaller today.
Oh yeah,
to
and
begin
thinner.
with.
I wish I could say the same about myself.
The Sentinel is different, Davey, because the Sentinel's always been an afternoon paper.
Right.
So it's not such a big deal getting the Sentinel in your email. I'm sorry, in your mail service, because you're kind of already used to that. It's an afternoon paper, right? Although they do their Sunday coupons and all that stuff in the Saturday paper.
Yeah, they do it called the Weekender.
Okay, that's the
And it's
that's
delivered.
the Sunday.
It comes on Saturdays.
Okay, all right. Line one there, Davey. Joe Lode. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. I just see this as pretty much the end, Bill, for this paper stuff.
Yeah, it does seem.
I mean, if anything, you should be able to have some kind of subscription printer at your house.
That's what I'm saying.
And then the paper just comes up like on a ticker tape, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
So everybody
exactly.
has.
And you would get your coupons right to the house.
Everybody gets an AP machine in their house. Everybody gets an AP machine.
There's got to be a way to do it.
Yeah. I don't know, Joe. All I can tell you is I don't know how they survive all of this. People, everyone I have spoken to has said, I don't know about you, but I am canceling. Already the news is late. Already it's delayed. It's old news when you get it on the app. So why is that going to change? That's not going to change any either. This is terrible.
Yeah, and I think the coupon thing needs to change anyway. I mean, why do I got to wait for a coupon? This was my whole point. You go to the store, why do I have to have a card to scan to get a discount? Why do I have to have a coupon to give you? Just give me the deal.
Right.
So, again,
why do I need that?
And some places do it when you put in your loyalty card.
Yeah.
Then they'll just knock them all off, right?
Joe, I don't want to say I disagree with you, and I'm sure you understand the reason why. But again, if I'm a loyal customer to whatever the business is, and you just happen to be driving by walking in, it's supposed to make me feel special and more connected to your brand because I get a deal that you don't get because I come here all the time.
And you work for it. Not everybody gets it. Only the people that use the coupons and those who work for it. Some people get amazing
There's nothing worse than standing
deals.
behind somebody in line with coupons, though.
Well, the only thing worse is somebody with a stack of lotto tickets. That's the only thing.
Listen, and right now it's bad. Your gas station, I wouldn't want to get gas today unless you're pumping at the pump.
Yeah.
Or paying
with
at the
a
pump.
card, yeah.
Because everybody, even over the weekend, everybody was buying their tickets for, is it Powerball? It's $1.55 billion tonight. And there probably won't be a winner. We're probably going to get close to $2 billion before it's all said and done.
Oh, I can guarantee who's not going to win.
And you're not playing.
Nope.
Yep. So
I don't want it. I don't want it. It's tainted money.
You don't want it. They couldn't give it to you, Joe.
No way in hell I don't want it.
All right. Okay, Joe. Thank
Joe,
you.
one more thing. Did you ever run into Conservative John Friday?
I never ran into John, no.
Oh, okay. John had commented, and he often does via the app, and he actually had a couple of harsh words for Andrew. And John was in Boonville, and
so what did Andrew do? Because he had said he got yelled at by a few people.
No, well, he was critical of Gates, I think, and
well, as he
called
should
him a rhino.
be. Gates
Someone called Andrew a rhino.
Please think with your mind, not just doing what you're told. Give me a break. That Gates is a whack job. I mean, even Republicans are going after Gates here. This is terrible. Brandon Williams.
Yeah, this is awful.
Brandon Williams said Gates is horrific. I mean, you got to be, if you can't call your own out on what they do wrong, then you are nothing but sheep. You are the sheep. If you can't call out your own and say, no, that's wrong, then you're a part of a cult, is what you're a part of. Manchin always was right. Manchin always did right. So you have your Gates, Charlie Manson. Give me a break. I mean, you got to think for yourself here, people. I'm with Andrew. I am 100% with Andrew. That Gates is a nut job. And so is Taylor Green and the other one out in Colorado. These people are crazy.
I almost thought you were going to say Taylor Swift.
Well, she's a nut
She may
job,
be too. She might be too, to be honest with you. I mean, he's going to kill her, for God's sakes. She's so frail. I mean, I can't even think about it. Specifically, I'm not thinking about it.
This comes from Utica. The crazies are already in control of the House. That's how you got this ridiculous rule where Matt Gaetz could put forward a motion to
You're right. That's it. Now they're trying to
vacate the speakership.
They're trying to change the rule. Will they be able to get that done? I don't think so. Change the rule. They want to change it back. I don't think they can get that done. This is a mess. You know what caused all of this? Both sides. What caused all of this is gerrymandering. The primaries are so partisan. You can't get anyone in that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem we have now.
That's a good point.
And it's a terrible mess. Joe, you want to add to this, or is that it?
No, I kind of agree, but that's all I got.
All right,
I'm kind of just doing my Route 12 thing, you know.
All right, don't get a ticket.
It was a terrible day for me, Bill, and you yourself. I mean, football, the Cowboys and the Bills, disappointments.
I know.
I really thought there was a glimmer of hope yesterday for me or last night, but at halftime I was in bed.
I just, watching the Bills yesterday morning, which really
is weird.
In the morning, that was weird on its own. But
it's like being in California. You wake up to a game.
I said we're going to be okay because they're going to come out and they're just going to pound away offensively in the second half. And, apparently we decided to do that in the fourth quarter when it was too late. So it is what it is. All right, Joe. Thank you, man.
It was crazy because I actually got to not watch the game but listen to it on WGR 55 News Radio out there in Buffalo because I was in Buffalo yesterday.
Oh, you were?
This past weekend, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I saw that comedian Cat Williams.
That's cool. Yeah, had to be a good show.
It was. He had 5 openers, and the openers I thought were better than him.
Yeah, all right. Okay, good stuff, Joe.
Listen,
Thank you.
If you go to a show like that, unfortunately, the reality is for some acts, It's like paying for the expensive shirt with the logo
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
You're paying for the logo. You paid for that show because of his name, not because he's got new material.
All right, Joe,
Right.
thank you, man. Have a great day. Be safe on your trip in.
John from Rome, quickly.
Hold John from Rome, and I want to go to Fran. I'm going to get to you. Liberal Lou, I'm going to get to you. First, though, Ryan Schmelz and this battle for the House speakership is beginning to take shape. Right now, we're looking at a couple of possibilities. Ryan Schmelz with Fox News.
First,
what do we know? Good morning.
we got to talk. I'm going to make everyone in New York feel better right now, okay? Because I just witnessed one of the worst weekends in Baltimore sports history in my life. I mean, the Ravens literally gave a game away yesterday where they were clearly the better team on the field, and then I took a nap after that because I was so exhausted. Woke up to find out that a grand slam was hit in the Orioles game. So the Orioles, #1 seed, dropping both of their first two games to the Texas Rangers. It was awful. So if you want to feel better, there you go.
Well, I mean, just all I'm saying, Ryan, is I'm a Mets fan and Davey's a Yankees fan. I mean, we just feel and as Mets fans, we spent so much money. And then, of course, I'm a Bills fan, and look what happened yesterday.
Yeah, well, let me tell you about the Bills, though. Like, first of all, playing in London is tough, and then you played against a team in London that plays there every year, so they're used to playing there.
Yep.
And plus, that's probably the best Jacksonville Jaguars team to host a London game since they started doing it. So just take it and move on. It'll
I
get
agree.
better.
It'll get better. Okay, Washington, will it get better?
We'll find out. We're expecting a lot of closed-door meetings, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Wednesday, we're expecting the Speaker of the House to be decided behind closed doors by the Republicans, and then they are expected to have the official Speaker race on Thursday. It's a two-man race as of right now, but there could be some rumblings that Speaker McCarthy might get back into this. I think we'll find that out a little bit later on today. But there are some members of Congress, including a couple of I've spoken with, who they still want Speaker McCarthy to be the guy. But whether or not they'll, calm this down and just vote for somebody on Wednesday, or if this could be more legs to this than we think, we'll have to wait and see.
I understand the Democrats hold some blame here as well. They saw an opportunity and they pounced on it, and shame on them for that. This is just a gigantic mess. We're going to have a bunch of crazy people running Congress, and I feel that that nothing's going to get done, and it's going to make the shutdown inevitable, which will make the economy even more difficult to manage. Considering we're dealing with the war in Israel now, you add the Ukraine to that, and potentially spreading even deeper. This is a very scary time right now, Ryan.
Right, yeah, and so I was speaking with Max Miller over the weekend, or on Friday, and this is somebody who is a Trump supporter. He tried to primary one of the guys who voted to impeach former President Trump, and, he was saying that, too, where he was, extremely frustrated at the members who decided to vote for the motion to vacate. He was kind of saying that Matt Gaetz can't call himself MAGA anymore. That guy is not MAGA. I'm MAGA, and I represent what Donald Trump stands for.
Interesting.
And he was going on, it's like, because of what these 8 people did, he feels that we're heading down the road to another CR, and we're potentially now heading down the road to another omnibus or a minibus, which is something that, at the beginning of this Congress, the Republicans vowed was those days were over, that the appropriations days where they passed the individual spending bills, and every single aspect of government funding is going to now be under the microscope more so than it ever was before. That's what this Congress was supposed to do, but because they ousted their Speaker of the House in October, it's going to make it harder to potentially avoid those things from happening anymore.
Right. Oh, boy. Again, you go back to gerrymandering. It's allowed for this. It is what's created this. The hyper partisan primaries. The only candidates people have to choose from are hyper partisan. No one is willing to get anything done to somehow come to the middle and to be able to compromise. That word non-existent right now in Washington. Pretty scary.
Well, though you do have a lot of – you remember all the representatives who won who are Republicans from New York.
Well, we spoke with
Mike
one this
Lawler
morning. Yep.
Came out and said that he was – because Republicans couldn't get their CR together, he said, well, now I'm going to go and talk to Democrats, and we're going to try to get a bipartisan CR together, because that's what I got elected to do, which was to work with other people. There certainly are those out there, but I think it is fascinating that you have the reporting about the Problem Solvers Caucus, which is supposed to be a bipartisan caucus in Washington. And apparently there's a lot of tension going on with them right now because of the Democrats' decision to be united and pretty much vote to oust Speaker McCarthy.
Ryan Schmelz, thank you, as always. Insight, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good one, Bill. Thank you.
You have a great day. Fran, thank you for waiting and calling back. I know that we lost you for a second there. Fran on Matt Gaetz. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. I see it as the Republican Party just not sticking together. I mean, and not for nothing, when McCarthy was voted in, look at what turmoil it was just to try to get him in.
You're right.
I don't think he should have ever been voted in, and I mean, I don't like or dislike the guy. You know what I mean? But
you're right. The
Republican Party's got to stick together.
This is the problem with the Republican Party. It never does. The Republican Party eats themselves, whereas the Democrats have this unbelievable ability to stay together for the greater cause of the Democratic Party. It's the complaint that all Republicans have. And this is a perfect example of that right now.
And by the way you sound, you're not sticking with the Republican Party.
Listen, I can tell you that the way I feel, I can't stomach any of them. I don't think anyone is acting.
I agree.
Here's the part of this. The right thing to do would have been for Jeffries to say, you know what, listen, the alternative to McCarthy is going to be very, very bad. We have to keep McCarthy. We're better off keeping McCarthy than we are dealing with who knows what's coming next from the far fringes of political opinion. So, but they didn't. Instead, they saw opportunity. They saw opportunity, and they voted to create more chaos in the Republican Party, and that is not what is best for America.
I don't necessarily agree. I honestly think McCarthy needed to go. I mean, look at when Trump was in. They had no problem shutting down the government then. All the Democrats stuck together and shut down the government on Trump. Why aren't the Republicans doing it here?
You don't want to shut the government down. You do not want to shut the government down.
I understand, but I mean, if it's the Republican Party sticking together, I mean, geez, that down the road, that's going to show some unity.
First of all, I want to appreciate Jesus. I haven't heard that word in a very long time. That's your way of saying what you want to say without using the Lord's name in vain. I remember that as a kid. So, Jesus, that was exciting.
You moved out of the valley.
I did.
Now you're missing it all.
Listen, Fran, that's a valley word right there. I love it. All right. Thank you, Fran, for your opinion. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Have a great day. Liberal Lou, good morning. Hi, Lou.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
And he's back.
Good morning.
First of all, let me correct the last caller. 3 bills were passed under Trump to pay our bills. The Democrats never shut down the country. Democrats didn't fight, using this ploy that we're going to bankrupt and not pay our bills. They did not do it under Trump. It's the Republicans who are using this, who have used that, and that is one of the reasons that the Democrats refused to support McCarthy, because they passed a bill, a 2-year bill. McCarthy promised no issue for the next 2 years. He went back on his word, as he has gone back on his word issue after issue after issue.
But here's the problem you have. You can work with McCarthy. But the alternative, you don't know what the alternative is going to be. It was a wrong move for the Democrats. I feel if they voted, you cannot tell me the Democrats didn't vote for chaos in the Republican Party. They felt it benefited them politically, and that is a major mistake because they're voting for their party and not for America. They're as guilty as the Republicans are.
President Biden, unless there was a full vote, and he reneged on that promise. I can give you all the lies that he's told to the Democrats.
Whatever.
They can't work with him. It's laughable for Brandon Williams to try and blame the Democrats. It's just a joke.
Well, it wasn't Brandon. It was me. I'm the one that said
There's
it.
8 of them. that voted with Matt Gaetz, and there's 20 in that ultra-conservative Freedom Caucus that are really on his side. So it's his party. It's their responsibility. Let me ask you this question.
Well, there's no doubt. Listen, I'm not saying Republicans aren't wrong here. What I'm saying is Democrats share responsibility as well.
Well, they do, but they have good reasons for not trusting McCarthy.
So you get rid of McCarthy, who you could probably, who you could work with.
Let me ask you this question: Put yourself in a situation where this will never happen to the Democrats when they hold the majority. They're a responsible party. They understand government has to run. They don't let extremists do this to them. Their extremists aren't as extreme as the Republicans. They would never do this. But let's imagine that this happened, and that Nancy Pelosi needed votes from Republicans to continue her speakership. What do you think would happen? Can you see one Republican ever turning and helping her?
This isn't tit for tat. I'm just saying there was an opportunity here.
You guys are saying the parties are equivalent. They are not. In no way. That's just another false equivalency. You mentioned gerrymandering, Bill.
I didn't say that. I said the Democrats share some responsibility in this, and I believe that.
That are heavily gerrymandered in only 3 Democratic states.
Right.
So and also add to that, the Republican Supreme Court has okayed this extreme gerrymandering against 4 Democrats who have consistently voted against it. Now it'll be 3 Democrats, but there are Supreme Court cases, one after the other, concerning gerrymandering, and the Republicans say it's fine, it's freedom of speech. 5 members of their Supreme Court.
Okay.
Gerrymandering is a heavy Republican issue, and I do agree with New York State fighting to gerrymander, because you got to fight fire with fire.
But then they're both doing it, and both are responsible. So.
No, they're not both responsible.
Okay,
it's all the Republicans.
Supreme Court
it's only the
Republicans.
I get it.
Against Democrats voting no.
Who do you think should be the next speaker? Who can you tolerate? Who will be better than McCarthy? You want Donald Trump as your next speaker?
We will not utter a kind word about a Republican.
East of us, who are very moderate, very sane, very sensible people.
Well, but those people don't have a chance. They feel McCarthy was too liberal.
Excellent people.
All right.
You've had them on your show, all of them.
My point is, they don't have a chance, right? Look at the reality is it's going to be somebody. Scalise probably would be the best possible opportunity here, but I don't think he's going to get there. It'll probably be Jim Jordan. We'll see.
And the Democrats, they might even regret. But I think they're to the point. The Democrats actually. Your earlier speaker mentioned that group of 8 that's trying to solve the problem solvers.
Yeah.
And the Democrats actually went to McCarthy and told him that they would support him with one condition. That was to get rid of this rule that he created that would allow one member of the House to require a vote.
Right.
And McCarthy refused to do it. So there was the opportunity there.
Well, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I do have to break. But here's the thing. I don't know. One thing we can all look at here, and you probably can agree. I'm not sure what McCarthy is thinking, and I don't think he is. There are others trying to. McCarthy seems to be done. But how could he think that coming back would be even an option? He barely got in the first place. It doesn't seem like there'd be much of an opportunity there. But I don't know.
Sure.
We'll see.
Can I ask you one quick question?
Surely.
I kind of flubbed in my call last week.
Okay.
I never got across. I just had one question for you guys, especially for Jeff. That was when General Kelly, former Marine 4-star general, Trump's top man in the
chief of staff for a while.
The guy who ran the day-to-day
he was chief of staff for a while.
Did you guys see the interview and hear the interview he had with Jake Tapper? That was my base question. And I wanted to get a response to what you guys felt about what General Kelly had to say about Donald Trump.
Listen, I've seen all of them. I've seen the interview with Milley. I've seen all of them. And Lou, I'm no Trump fan, And
Yeah,
I don't
know
think
that.
he
Jeff,
should be the.
It's more pointed to Jeff.
I
the question,
didn't.
not
I
you.
didn't. I just Googled it, and I'll take a look at it today.
And it is what it is.
I'd love to have you had a bunch of listeners who despise me when I come on the air. They come after me. I'd like to just ask them. One was Gridley, the black gentleman.
Greeley.
I'd like to ask him if he's
Greeley,
listening
yes.
to go read that interview and then come back and tell me what he thinks about Donald Trump.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Lou. I appreciate it. And have a wonderful day. By the way, Tim says, Liberal Lou on, I'm off. Okay. Hopefully you'll come back, Tim. I got a break. It's 8:35. Let's boot the next two. We'll wing it for the rest of the morning. Okay, Davey?
We got some more good comments here.
Take your phone calls, 315-736-0186. You can comment. You can do it on the app. You can message through YouTube. We're on YouTube. All you do is search on regular free YouTube. Search for the Keeler Show, and we're right there. I want to tell you about River Hills Properties. You know, the fastest growing real estate company in the area. 15 years ago, no one knew their name. Today, they are the number one independent real estate agency in all of central New York. And when it comes to the chains, they're number 2. And it's all about services provided. It's all about working hard for the people who are selling their homes. That extra work helps the people who are buying. It's all of the extra things they do, from the book to the fact that your listing agent is there to help prep the house and make sure it's ready to go every time the house is shown. And God forbid somebody has a question, your listing agent is there to answer that question on the spot. Makes all the difference in the world. Bill and Robin Monjo, River Hills Properties. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. And with Jimmy Fallon coming to town on Veterans Day, Bill and Robin Monjo put together Heroes tickets. You can do it right through the Stanley box office. Heroes tickets. What is it? Well, it's quite simple. Jimmy is coming to town for the Laughs and Liberty Tour with Kennedy. And it happens on Veterans Day, November 11th. Wouldn't it be great to send a veteran to the show? Maybe a pair of tickets for a veteran? You can do so by calling up the Stanley and purchasing a pair of tickets, those tickets through River Hills Properties. Call 315-724-4000 at the box office or visit the box office to buy Heroes tickets. Jimmy Fallon, Kennedy, the Laughs and Liberty Tour, sponsored by WIBX and Keeler in the Morning, November 11th at the Stanley Theater.
Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with SeizeTheDeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to Tom Cavallo's Restaurant this Thursday morning starting at 8 a.m. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. Tom Cavallo's Restaurant in New Hartford, known for their great daily specials, wings, and great happy hours. Trivia nights on Thursday and legendary fish fries on Fridays. Online at Cavallos.com. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificates this Thursday from Tom Cavallo's Restaurant. Hurry, they sell out fast at SeizeTheDeal.com.
Looking for top-notch personal protection? The Smith & Wesson Equalizer is here to level the playing field. Easy to rack slide, easy to control ergonomic grip. It's designed for you. With a 10, 13, and 15-round magazine included, size up for better control or size down for easier concealment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to upgrade your safety. Visit your local dealer now. To learn more about the Equalizer, visit smith-wesson.com. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. All capacity sizes may not be available in your jurisdiction. Be sure to check your local laws and regulations.
You'll find no shortage of work to do in a New Holland Workmaster or Boomer compact tractor. Available now at Clinton Tractor. Get 0% financing for 84 months and a 7-year warranty on the select compact and subcompact tractors. Available now at Clinton Tractor. Stop into Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Offer ends soon.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
The Potting Shed Antiques is your ultimate destination for timeless treasures. Step into a world of vintage wonder. Their carefully curated collection of unique pieces from days gone by. You'll find furniture, porcelain, retro jewelry, rare collectibles, gold, silver, and coins. Stop in, say hello to Don Hartman and staff, and relive the past. The Potting Shed Antiques, Oriskany Boulevard, Whitesboro, or online at thepottingshedantiques.com. This week's Potting Shed Antique Special, 60% off all furniture. Exclusions may apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Brink Construction. If it's concrete, it's Brink. Call them today. Concrete driveways, sidewalks, any of the work needed for an old stone wall or a foundation, chimney work, stairs, cellarway entrances, basement floors, garage floors, stone walls repaired, retaining walls. If it's concrete, there's still plenty of time to pour concrete. Get on the list and get it done before winter. Call Brank Construction, B-R-A-N-C-K. David and Rocco Brank have you covered. They'll get the job done right and right on time for the right price. 315-894-3481. Brank Construction. 315-894-3481 for concrete.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, a ton. We'll take some phone calls if you want. 315-736-0186. You can pipe in if you want through the app. Download the app free, by the way. It's free to download. Just go to the Apple Store or Google Play. It's absolutely free. Daylight Donuts. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. If you're looking for the best coffee, it's Seattle's best. The official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Fresh bagels, fresh donuts every day. Pumpkin spice in. The cider donuts are in. And, yes, the drive-thru is lightning fast. You're in and you're out, and you're on your way.
Let me
Boy,
see
a lot
here.
of talk about the newspaper. Bill Morehouse this morning.
Can I just, before I forget here, the code for the 8 a.m. hour is 820. 820, and I apologize, I'm late again.
820 for cash.
Just enter the code on our
Potential-
website.
I heard we had a couple of winners last week or the week before.
I believe it was last week, correct.
The current CR is going to run out right before Thanksgiving. There is no way the Republicans are going to shut down government in front of that holiday. Expect another CR that will carry through till after the holidays. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
All right, Michael. Thank you.
Probably right. Yeah.
Bill Morehouse, on newspapers. Being in the business, we're exposed to other family-owned newspapers. The Arkansas Democrat gave out 27,000 iPads. So you got an iPad if you got a subscription to the Arkansas Democrat.
Wow.
That's cool. What are you buying when you buy newspapers now? It's the digital marketplace. I do believe that is true. The problem you have, and maybe you know much more about this than I do, Bill, is newspapers are struggling figuring out the dynamics of using digital and making money on digital. They're struggling with it. And... maybe it's that they figured out how to make money and it's not anywhere close to what they used to make, or they haven't been able to figure out how to make money on digital alone. It's a problem. I will tell you, Town Square has done is probably the leader in the country, is the leader in the country in radio when it comes to digital.
Yes, and if you're an advertiser or a business, we have digital solutions that will get your message in front of the appropriate audiences. We do it better than anybody else on the radio front.
And it was COVID that really drove. The only way you could make any money during COVID was going down the digital road. We were helping advertisers and businesses stay alive during COVID.
I have here a comment from John in Rome, obviously tongue-in-cheek here, but I think he raises a good point. If you get the paper 2 days early, that's always great news. If you play the lottery, you'll know the numbers in advance.
Good point. I'm liking this. Here's the thing. Now, they're saying, so over the weekend, apparently in the Sunday paper, they said the Sunday paper will be available on Saturday. Well, that's terrible. That means it's going to be a day early, but it will not be the printed version. You know, they don't do a printed version on Saturday. The OD stopped doing Saturdays a year and a half ago.
But I think what they're saying is the Sunday version, they're going to go to print early.
No.
So, again, some comments that came in.
I think that you'll be able to get it digitally.
Yeah, there was some. Sue and Terry raised this issue this morning. Of course, Bill, you received a letter from your paper carrier basically thanking, and 2.5 pages single-spaced. I mean, there's a lot of words there.
Yes. His name here, he's been doing this for 27 years, I think. Since 1996, he's been delivering the OD. Paul Gardner of Utica. Paul, thank you for your service.
Terry raised the point this morning. Did you notice the small article on the front page that said subscribers will receive their Sunday paper on Saturday? I'm not sure if that was a misprint, and what they meant to say was they would get an e-edition. I guess there's a lingering question about
I think
that.
that's what they meant to say.
Yeah.
Jake in Utica. Hi, Jake. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill, Jeff.
Hey, good morning.
Last week, my daughter had a Buffalo Bill party.
Okay.
When the Bills played the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So she had about 15 people there. And long story short, after the game, politics came up. So this one woman was saying that Celeste's friend, now I don't know this woman from Eve.
Yeah.
She knocked at the door and asked this woman, why do you have a Mike Galimi sign on the lawn? She said, because my husband and I are going to vote for him. She goes, why don't you remove it? Here's some literature and vote for me. And this woman also said other people on the block, when Celeste came to their door, she told them the same thing. Now, I don't know.
What's wrong with that, though?
Well, I normally if you go to somebody's, if you're knocking on doors and you see they have a sign from your opponent, do you go and try to convince them? I don't know.
By saying why do you have a Mike Galimi sign on your lawn? It is somewhat confrontational, maybe.
Well, this is
you kind of put
a little bit of hearsay, right?
You put the neighbor or the constituent on the spot.
Yeah.
But handing out literature to try to change someone's vote from one side to the other is, I mean, that's a tale as old as time, right? That's what you do with advertisements of any kind, whether it's radio, TV, newspaper.
Yeah.
You're trying to convince people to support your camp, not your opponents.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not calling the woman a liar. You know, I just heard her out, and I just thought that was kind of weird because hearing Celeste on the phone on your show, she seems like a nice person.
Yeah, I would
up front.
I would find it hard to believe based on our knowledge of both of the candidates. I think both her and Mike, and Cardillo, and Courtney. You know, I just think they're out there working hard to try to get elected.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
So, all right, interesting. It's gonna. I got to tell you, I'm very curious. On November 8th, will it be so close we won't know the winner?
Boy, I know.
It's going to be very interesting, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Jake. Thank you, man.
Have a good day, guys.
Go Bills. Go Bills.
Bye-bye.
You know, we've talked about Cardillo's involvement in the races of the conservative candidate.
315-736-0186. I got time for a couple more calls if you want to complain. Go ahead.
Bob Cardillo being the conservative candidate that, as he did when he ran in, I think it was 2012, takes some votes away from the Republican candidate, and it's beneficial to whoever the Democrat is. Now, in this case, it's Celeste's friend. I would imagine similarly, I don't know to what extent, that the write-in candidate, Courtney Muhammad, if he's going to take votes away from a candidate, it would most likely be Celeste?
I would think.
You would think, yeah.
Yeah, I would think.
It's interesting to see how this all plays out and what impact it has on who the next mayor will be for the city.
And then on Friday, when you and Joe and Andrew were interviewing Bob, Jeff, remember he announced there's another write-in candidate, the girl that ran for school board?
Yeah, he said there was a woman who, and I forget the name
I've
off
heard
the top
about
of
her
my
too.
head.
Yeah.
That there was a woman who ran for school board as a write-in, and that she would also be doing a write-in campaign for the Utica mayor's race.
Well, listen, you aren't hearing of these people. That's the problem.
Yeah, the problem, right.
I mean, you may be able to go get people to, I
mean, you could write
couple
me in,
hundred,
or you, couldn't you?
Couple hundred people.
In theory, you could write in Bill Keeler as the next mayor of Utica.
I guess you could. Yeah.
Write in Stephan.
You could write in Stephan. I don't live in Utica, though, and you don't either. So we could we be mayor? I guess we could be.
I think we could.
Today, you don't have to, right? It's I believe they call that the KDILO rule. Isn't it? No? I don't know. All right, what else on comments? I have a bunch of other stuff.
Some comments here. Dawn says Liberal Lou drank the Kool-Aid. Christine says when Liberal Lou comes on, it's my cue to drop off. He's obnoxious. I don't necessarily agree. I don't agree with Lou, but I don't think he's obnoxious. He's singing his song. He is drinking the Kool-Aid, though.
He's passionate. There's no doubt about it. And you want to hear from other people. I do.
Same here.
I want to hear all different sides.
I always look forward to his take on certain things because I know usually I'm not in agreement in it, but I'd love to hear the other side.
Tonight, the Powerball drawing is at $1.55 billion.
Billion.
That's $1.5 billion. That's really incredible when you think about it. But when it's all said and done, if you were to choose the cash option, that means you would end up with about $775 million. Then after paying taxes, you're going to cut that in half, and that would be your so it would be under $400 million that you'll receive. But you could live on $400 million, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just don't.
If you don't believe me, give me the money and I'll show you.
Just don't go buying stupid stuff. You should be able to do just fine. That drawing, and you have until I don't know what time to be able to purchase your tickets.
I do think, and
Like
this
9 o'clock.
is not a completely unique idea, but Joe brought it up last week when he was filling in. You know, you got $1.5 billion. What if you, instead of trying to, and now it's possible. I mean, there could be 500 winning tickets tonight, right? I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean there's one winner.
If there's more than one winner, you share the jackpot.
You share the jackpot.
Mm-hmm.
But his point was, instead of making it the top prize is $1.5 billion, what if you made $150 million winners? You know what I mean? You picked 150 numbers and tried to get winners that way. Obviously, the grand prize wouldn't be as much, but as you said, I could live off $100 million, right? I wouldn't feel shortchanged by that, would I?
Here's the funny thing. They already give away the chance at 50 winners.
That's true.
Because more than one person can get but the odds are so, remember, there has not been a winner in 30 drawings. And chances are there won't be a winner tonight. And when there is a winner, most likely it'll be one person. So, but it could be 2, it could be 5, it could be 10.
Could be 100.
If it's 100, you're going to split that 100 ways. So the odds are just so against you that your chances of winning are so low.
And you're right, there could be multiple winners, but the idea being instead of drawing one number tonight, you draw 15 numbers, 30 numbers. You'd have 30 different winning combinations. Or whatever number you settle
to increase the number.
To increase the number of winners,
Bus driver on Long Island was terminated after being caught drinking a White Claw while driving students. Do you know there are people that don't know that White Claw is alcoholic?
Really?
Yes. There are people.
Okay.
And yeah, they probably are living in a cave or under a rock. But they don't know. The driver was caught when he probably knew. The driver was caught when students noticed the beverage in the cup holder. The students knew. Here are the parents. And if you are drinking a White Claw, what are you thinking if you do know?
I mean, not even hiding it, right?
Not
they
hiding
didn't hide
it
in a coffee mug or something. They just, here's my can of White Claw.
No arrests have been made, but they say they are investigating. Here's audio.
I think it's crazy, and it needs to be addressed.
Yeah, that's not good. Not at all. Yeah, especially with the kids on the bus.
My daughter's a teacher, and she would never allow that.
That's a regular thing. If he's so blatant with it, it's regular.
I think it's a disaster. I mean, I have a kid that goes on a school bus, and that's pretty scary, yeah.
Okay. I remember years ago, the program director came up with an idea to say, you know what you guys got to do? I want you to go out and do a poll question a day. I'm like, a poll question a day? That's a lot of...
That's aggressive.
That is, because you got to come up with a new poll question every day.
And you're not talking to one person.
Do you know what happens when you're doing a poll question every day? You get a question like that. Do you think it's good that a school bus driver was drinking a White Claw?
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah. Find me, what do you think the person's going to say? Right?
Better than Scotch.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
At least it wasn't Scotch.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Come on. I mean,
I don't know how you don't know that.
The questions, you got to do better with your questions. The former mayor of a town in Ohio, North Royalton, was arrested after seemingly driving while intoxicated and being involved in a high-speed... You think it's good for the mayor to be drunk and driving in a high-speed chase? I think that's terrible.
Yeah, it's good for his opponent. That's what it's
I
good
guess
for.
it is. The former mayor, intoxicated, being involved in a high-speed chase with police that ended in a crash. Here is the former mayor, Kathy Lux.
Oh, it's a woman, too.
Getting pulled over, driving off, crashing, and being arrested by the officer.
I guess you're going 43 and a 25, and your plates are expired. Go and put the car in park. And she made a right-hand turn on the burger and crashed into a truck right in the parking lot. Are you hurt?
Yeah.
What's hurting?
Everything.
My pride.
I was the mayor of the city of North Royalton. I have been so abused.
She's been so abused, she said.
Wow.
And I've been so abused that I've gotten drunk, and I'm now running from you.
This is another sign of the times.
Mm-hmm.
A drunk driver crashes the vehicle, and she is the victim.
Towboat captain in Naples, Florida, spotted a black bear hanging out on a sailboat last week, and he got it on video. The boat was unoccupied at the time, and there were no injuries. And of course, he's doing play-by-play.
We were kind of blown away that there was a bear in Royal Harbor. I came back around and I looked over and he's on the sailboat. No one's going to believe me if I tell him. And I sat here for like an hour and he was just going from front to back on the boat.
The word started spreading around the club that there was a bear on the docks. And I said, no, there can't be a bear on the docks. Walked out to the docks. Sure enough, there was a bear on a boat. I've seen alligators in the marina. I've seen dolphins, manatees. Never seen a bear.
Here's a good poll question. Do you think it's good for a black bear to be on a boat? Well, I think it's just crazy.
Comment here via the app. Britton Utica says, I've heard several instances of candidates and volunteers knocking on doors and asking residents why they have signs on their lawns. Maybe use a different tactic because that just seems like a bizarre way to introduce yourself, to introduce a conversation.
I guess.
Okay.
But listen, if you can turn the person, I believe we call it turning the person.
Yeah.
And convincing them that that you are a better choice. I don't think there's anything, wrong with that. I had people knock on my door on Saturday and Sunday. It was Sunday morning. And it was two young ladies. And what happens now when somebody knocks on your door, rings your doorbell? It's like, oh, my God, who is it?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
So
why are they here? Something must be wrong.
So I'm like, boy, I got to tell you, it's probably Jehovah's or somebody that are going to preach. So I went to the door, and she said, hello, we're here, and this is, Julie, and I'm Susie. And they were fairly young females. And we're asking a question this morning. Do you feel that life is everlasting?
You're kidding me.
No. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of something. But I'm not going to be mean about it. I'm going to be respectful. But I give you guys credit. I couldn't cold call somebody like this, and especially with a question like that. I just couldn't do it. And I give you a lot of credit. But, is it okay if we stop back? No, that wouldn't be a good idea. Because then I might not be the one answering the door, and chances are you might get my wife. And you don't want to do that.
Yeah, it takes chops to be able to do that.
I give him credit. I give him credit. I couldn't do it. I especially with that question.
And then just a comment here. We were talking about the bus driver. This comes from Patty. She says, what if the bus driver had used the gummy? Who would ever know?
Nobody would know.
But again, that underscores kind of the bizarre nature of this story.
Well, it's right out in the open. It's in his cup holder.
It would be like the bus driver smoking a joint when they picked you up.
The reason he hasn't been arrested is he didn't know. I don't think he knew.
That it was an alcoholic
beverage? That it was an
beverage?
alcoholic beverage, yeah.
That'd be weird.
Portions of the program brought to you by Fred F. Collis & Sons, Heating and Cooling. They say ignorance of the law is no excuse. But
correct, unless you're Hillary Clinton.
Fred F. Collis & Sons, Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. It's here, folks. Is your furnace up to par? Are you ready for the upcoming heating season? Listen, we've had Collis. We rely on Collis. We know that if there's a problem, they have you covered. The other day when it was 87 degrees out, I know somebody who their thermostat went down and they couldn't run their air conditioning.
Ooh.
Collis was there within an hour or so, and they had it repaired. I believe they replaced the thermostats. In, out, on the way. You have an issue in your home where you're not getting the heat you want? Think about the heat pumps. Great option. Reach out to them today. Fred F. Collis & Sons Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Your 9 a.m. code is 387. Another chance to win from Keeler, 387.
WIBX Utica Rome.
9 Americans killed in Israel. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That from the State Department as the war rages a third day.
This has been the hardest 48 hours that I can remember in my lifetime, short of 9/11.
Rabbi Ari Lightstone is an American and told Fox from a bomb shelter in Israel.
I have friends that I've lost, friends that ran down to the Gaza area yesterday and Saturday to try to free hostages, children and grandmothers.
It's believed more than 100 Israelis were kidnapped.
They don't know where these hostages are.
Fox's Trey Yingst is in southern Israel and says Gaza is 25 miles long.
With tunnels, with high-rise buildings, with apartment buildings, with houses, with fields, they could be along the Egyptian border. Right. They may have spread out the hostages to ensure that if the Israelis enter from the north, that they're not going to be able to even find them.
This says Hamas militants keep firing rockets at Israeli cities. Israel has bombed more than 1,000 targets inside Gaza, where hundreds of Palestinians are reported dead, and they're clamping down.
No food, no fuel, and electricity lines cut. That's the upshot of Defense Minister Yoav Gallant's announcement. Israel already controls the airspace over the territory and restricts who and what can pass beyond the heavily fortified border.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The Wall Street Journal